So hi all of you. Online, offline. Okay, fine. Aniket, Mohammad Riaz Khan, Santosh, Chaleshwar. Oh, good to see you, Chaleshwar. Kush, Thakur, Saif, Balbir. Okay, and all of you offline also. Welcome. So do I have some familiar faces? Yes. No, we have. How many of you have been in my class already? Raise your hand. Some of you in the class already. Some of you may be online. I have not seen you. Okay. And I hope I look as exciting as I look online. Okay. I'm presuming. Hi, Mohit, Farkanda, Naveen, Mirza. Okay, fine. So first, though, congratulations. I'm presuming all of you have qualified the prelims. There are some of you not qualified, but then I think that's a nice spirit. Ab qualify ho, nahi ho, padhai to karni hai. And it's nice that you study in that same pressure and momentum. Hello, Rahul, Sujain, Naveen. Okay. So once again, congratulations. You have qualified and not qualified. My wishes to you. Keep the momentum on. That's the idea. And I'll just introduce you quickly first. What is my plan? What I intend to do? And then we'll start off with all the work. One suggestion to all of you. I hope you all have your schedule with you, right? Aap sabko mil chuka hai schedule, online, offline, both? Online, have you got the schedule? Hi, Afsar, good to see you too. Yes? It should be on the Telegram channel. Agar nahi hai, to please ask our team. They'll post it to you. All of you, make sure that you carry your textbooks with you. Aaj aapko bata nahi paye the, that's okay, first class hai. I'll follow Savindra Singh Geomorphology, and I will follow Dr. Khuller. The first test is India Physical and Geomorphology. Ye pehla test hai aapka hai. Yeah, please come in. So carry your books with you. That's one. And all of you should also carry the previous year's question paper. Okay, so we have one set on our resource page itself, free hai. Okay, or whatever source you have, doesn't matter. I want the last 10 years of question paper with you, because if you understand what is being asked and how they frame the questions and what can be the possible questions, फिर आपका पढ़ाई का पूरा अलग trajectory होगा. एक होता है ना कि you are studying because I am telling you. Second is you know that that's what is required. You know that that's how the questions can be asked. Okay, so you will do better then. Mohit, no, timing is same. We'll have the classes from 4 to 6 o'clock. Yahi hoga ki I'll extend the classes, okay, if required, but I will not change timings to 3:30 or 3 o'clock. Aise nahi hone wala. And the same days, because days are very tight for me. So jo bhi aapka days hai, which has been committed to you, I think the class commitments aaj ka hai, kal ka bhi hai. Then you have the class again on 23rd. You have a practice test on 22nd, a practice test on 24th also. So aap paas jo bhi schedule hai, you follow that schedule, please. Yeah. Fine, take. Okay. Yes, hello Aditya. Hi all of you. So I'll get this off now. I'm done. Kaise bahar nikle? Note? Yes. Okay, let me explain this to you. So your MSP program, this is your mains support program. Okay, main support program 23. I'll ask a few questions to all of you just to understand what I'm doing differently. I think all of us agree one thing. If you want to score marks in your mains examination, for that matter, in any examination, okay, so one very important thing is you have to learn answer writing. Okay, ये आपको सबको पता है. No matter how much you know, no matter how much you have studied, क्या books पढ़ा है, क्या notes पढ़ा है, answer writing is the key. Answer writing plus, of course, you have to test. Okay, now, if you can tell me, what do you think makes for a good answer? Give me 4 or 5 points. Anybody? What makes a good answer? If you know the features, you manage better. Multi-dimensions, okay, yes. Good content, okay, fine. What else? What is a good answer and you get marks in that? Yes. Presentation, fine. Content understanding. Demand of the question, very nice. Demand met. Huh? Flow of the answer. It's part of your structuring of the answer. Yes, case, studies, content, diagrams, mappings, fine. Now let's say, if I put in a sequence, very nice. The first important is you meet the demand of the question. Demand of the question मतलब ये है आपको question समझना पड़ेगा. And I'll show how we can make a mistake on that. ये first step है. Whatever be the question, you must understand what is being asked. Okay. The second important thing is you must have proper content for it. What's asked? You must have a proper content. क्या concepts हैं? What is the argument, the pros, the cons, evidences, जो भी चाहिए. A third very important thing is part of the presentation, and इसी में हम add कर देंगे, you must have a good flow. What diagrams you want to use, what flow charts you want to use, what headings you must have, okay, and the flow. The points are logical, the sequence of ideas is logical. That's your presentation flow. And fourth, okay, कुछ है, कुछ छूट रहा है, anybody? I've covered whatever you told me, more or less. What do you think I'm missing out? How to have a good answer that gives you good marks. Examples बेटा content में आ जाएगा. Examples presentation में आ गया. What else? Conclusion, that's part of the flow. You start off, you write down, and you logically end. वो part of the flow ही है. Applied aspect, वो भी content में ही आया. Content is many things. Content is concepts. Content is examples. Content is case studies. Okay, ये सब आपके content में आएगा. Okay, what else? Anybody else? What I'm missing out? Yes, very nice. You have to have a speed in writing. Okay, and if you know the speed, okay, a 10 mark ka question, 15 mark ka question, not more than 7, 8, 9 minutes. You need a crazy speed for this. Okay, I don't think many of you will not know this. ये आपको पता है. अच्छा, how do we do this? Okay, some of you have done classes. Some of you have notes. Maybe you follow books. You are part of some test series programs. आपने answer writing भी शायद किया हुआ है. Some of you have done this. Now tell me one reason why, despite this, people don't score marks. इसमें कोई rocket science तो है नहीं ना? I think it's very obvious. I mean, anybody, if you, and what I'm saying, I'm sure you would have said the same things. अब मेरा सवाल ये है, okay, do we have classes on all of this content? Yes, there are classes going on. I'm sure you have some notes also. नहीं है तो books पढ़ लेंगे. अब books भी सारे markets में हैं. Okay, test series, there's no dearth. I think this one sector which has kind of exploded in the UPSC sector. Okay, everybody, what the name, giving the tests. And आप लोग कहीं ना कहीं writing भी करते हो आप लोग. What's missing? Okay, why, despite all of this, these are areas which you have. This is what you know you need. ये आपका objective है, यही करना है आपको, marks लेके आना है. And why do we not get the marks that we need? Anybody? Give me 1 or 2 reasons. ये क्यों नहीं हो पाता है? Consistency. Okay, it's function of something else. Syllabus very vast. Okay, that's. I'm assuming आपने content कर लिया. आप अगर 2 महीने पहले बोलेंगे मैंने syllabus नहीं किया तो बेटा मैंने कुछ नहीं करना है, मैंने हाथ खड़े कर देना है. I'm assuming आपने syllabus कर दिया, ठीक है, some parts are missing, we'll fill that up for you. What else? I'm assuming you have the content. I'm assuming you can have presentation. और शायद आपको speed भी है, whatever. 3 marks क्यों नहीं आते हैं? Revision. Okay, fine, revision. What else? One common reason I see is the practice element is missing for most of you. You might learn a skill. You might learn a technique. You might know the content, but the practice जो चाहिए आपको, and you should appreciate writing, okay, writing 150, 200 words in about 7 to 9 minutes. This is a crazy speed. So बहुत होता है कि हमें लगता है हम लिख रहे हैं. We are assuming, oh, अच्छा लिख लिया, अच्छा कर लिया, but marks नहीं आ रहे हैं. And I'm seeing this across many tests I have performed. This is one of my learnings. Most of you lack this. ये lack करने का reason क्या है? Yes, one reason is many of you don't have your confidence on your content. कि साहब practice करूँगा कब? जब content ही नहीं है मेरे पास. Many of you, okay, it is sheer laziness. You should do it, but you find reasons not to do it. Okay. Third probably is, yes, there is element of fear. वो starting problem होता है. Okay, you know you should do it. You probably are convinced about it. Okay, but वो डर रहता है कि सर होगा नहीं होगा. So in our program, my main objective, and I'm doing this for the first time. मैंने पहले ऐसे कभी नहीं किया है. My focus entirely is on the practice quotient. Because देखो इस phase में ना, in this phase, actually I should not be teaching too much to you. आपका teaching part पहले हो जाना चाहिए था. Okay, and we run the program of enrichment program. You have the program for test series, जो भी है. अब काम है लिखो. And whatever gaps you have, you should fill up from the tests. So what happens is, typically what happens is that we study, we develop content. Okay, we probably summarize, we read books. Okay, we do answer writing practice, and then we give probably the tests. ये हमारा normal sequence है. But at this stage हम बोलेंगे आप reverse करो. Okay, because if you go this way, आपका कभी कोर्स खत्म नहीं होगा. So this is almost like I am running a crash course, but from the reverse ends. Okay, I think you all have done this also. MCQ करते हैं ना? Right method is what? Take up a question paper, read the question, think on the choices, mark the choice. Okay, then go back and check the choice. Right? हम उल्टा करो. Question पढ़ के answer देख लो, then come back and check कि उससे क्या आपने सीखा. So we will do the entire thing in a reverse way. Okay, so our approach will be, and this approach I am following for whatever I do for the mains. I'll do this for your essays, we'll do this for GS, and even for geography optional. So our approach will be, first step is that we appreciate what are the possible questions which can be asked. हम पहले ये पता लगाएंगे. Okay, because see, if there are 20 topics to cover, हम 20 नहीं कर सकते हैं. There will be 1 or 2 topics. हम बोले यार अपने आप करो, इसको थोड़ी ना पढ़ाऊंगा बैठ के. टेक्टोनिक्स थ्योरी क्या है, what is Wegener's contribution, define geosynclines. Well, I do all of that. Okay, then I'll say there are of these, maybe this has been repeated more frequently. Okay, and I think इस साल शायद ये और ये पूछ देगा. So I'll say इसको ignore करो, forget this one. Maybe ignore this, forget this one. Of these 6 I have, let me help you with 4 of them. ये included. We'll do this work here. Okay, so first what I'll do is I'll help you appreciate questions. कि पूछा क्या जा रहा है, कैसे पूछा जाता है, what wordings, and I'll recommend you also come and tell me. Sir, हमें लगता है ये सवाल पूछ देगा. Let's have a discussion on that. Once we have done this, then what we'll do is we will give you the answers itself, or you will write the answers on your own. फिर आप ये answers को आप memorize करोगे. Say this component of speed, ये speed component है. Okay, those of you who have given the mains, you'll realize exam hall में आप सोच नहीं सकते. Okay, you have to write like you are a machine. You'll have to go on. एक क्वेश्चन खत्म हुआ, एक सोच के ऐसे लिखें वैसे लिखें, how to organize, think, ये possible नहीं है. That's the level of skill that required. So speed का एक ही तरीका है, writing practice and memorize as many answers as possible. Then the students ask me, sir, memorize तो कर लिया, but what if questions are not same, and they will not be the same. So here's my strategy here. What I'll do is I will say these are the anticipated questions. Okay, and I am making you memorize answers on this. कुछ आप लिखेंगे, कुछ आपको हम पकड़ा देंगे कि लिखो. Now see, I'll cover a width where शायद ये ना पूछेगा, but इसके बीच का ये तो पूछ देगा ना. Maybe they would ask these questions, but इसी से मिलता जुलता कुछ क्वेश्चन यहाँ पर पूछ देगा आपको. Now think of a guy who has not memorized anything. He is writing one answer. You have done some memorization. What you'll do is you'll quickly modify this. You'll modify this and add the answer here. You will pick up some points from here, some from here, some from here, और आप ये लिख देंगे आप. So the technique, and all of those who qualify, this is the technique that they follow. That they have a width of questions with them, a good understanding. Okay, 15, 20, 30, 40 जो भी है, याद किया हुआ है. The diagrams they remember, they have practiced it, the examples they remember. वहां जाकर they only correlate things. That's all. So we will not leave things to chance here. हम ये cover करा लेंगे. Is it okay all of you here? So what I am doing different this time is, इस बार मेरे पढ़ाने वाला component के साथ में, you will have a proper practice sessions. आप रट्टा मारेंगे, I'll give the content to you. In some cases, आप generate करोगे मेरे साथ में, and you go memorize. Fine, all of you here? Okay. Yes, Seth, Aditya. Okay. Hi, Hemant. Check all of you, and I want a concurrence here. और एक चीज है बच्चे, let's all be honest here. Prelims clear करना आसान नहीं है ना, right? And कोई guarantee नहीं है ना अगले साल clear करोगे दोबारा. इस साल तो good number of them have been flattened this year. उधर बिपरजॉय आ रहा था गुजरात कोर्स में, इधर बिपरजॉय आपके मैंने अटेम्प्ट में ही लगा दिया. Don't waste your attempt. ये आपका 2-2.5 महीना है. This is God's gift to all of you. This is I'll say huge opportunity. तो ये 2-2.5 महीना, you have to put whatever you have. 10, 12, 15 घंटा गंदे टाइप. Of course, keep yourself healthy here. Sleep on time, eat well, okay, no frivolous talks. और आपको बस यही करना है. Okay, so you will not read anything just like that. You have a style for that, you have a method for that, and आपको on an average, my target is every day you memorize 10, 15, 20 answers. When I say memorize, ठीक है, some of them not completely, but it's something like कि यार देखो टेस्ट देने जाना है तो पढ़ाई नहीं किया है, ये लो 10 आंसर, आधे घंटे में देख तो लो क्या है पूछा है. Make quick jottings, quick notes there. Okay. So I want everyday basis पे geography and GS मिलाकर you will practice, memorize 15, 20 answers, 30 answers are required. ताकि आपके पास enough content हो to go and write an examinations. Sunil, that's my business. What to memorize? That is where I am there. Okay, मैं आपको questions दूंगा 30, 40, 50 question. Okay, and you will remember, and the tests I will ask you will be very different test questions. I'll train you first how to deal with those tricky ones. So what happens is, if you have done this, okay, your poor performance is also better than the most performance. आपका जो खराब वाला होगा ना, से आप रट्टा मार के लिखा हुआ है, very good performance. But this one आप मिल मार के लिखा रहे हो. Even if you write a bad answer according to your standard, it will be better than the answer that somebody else writes without any practice. That's my objective. Practice tests, no Sagar. The practice tests are not evaluated. हमने आपको क्या बोला है? We'll have sectional tests and we will have full length tests. Correct? You have 5 sectional tests and you have got 4 full length tests. What I'm doing is, before every sectional test, you will have a practice test. Okay. In support of every sectional test, I will give you model answers. Or ye answers will be something like 40 to 50 answers होंगे. Okay. ये आप and इसके आंसर मिल जाएंगे. आप अपने आप देख लो क्या करना है नहीं. I'll tell you what to do there. But what we will evaluate is, we will evaluate these. This and this evaluation. This practice test आप यहाँ apply करोगे. And I want the practice test to be written in exam type of conditions. एकदम रट्टा मार के आओ, वही सवाल रिपीट करेंगे 15-16 जो भी है, and आप लिखोगे 3 घंटे में बिना पेन उठाए हुए. And I'll say those online also, Okay, I have kept it entirely flexible. Up online or your choice. I can see more of you are there on the online mode. But I'll want कि आप आके हमारे rooms में आके examination दो. Come at 4 o'clock. Okay, sit down for 3 hours. Okay, give the test. ताकि आपका हाथ खुल जाए. Okay, and some of you have given the image, you'll know this. कि examination conditions में your hand doesn't work at all sometimes. Okay, एकदम it is frozen. It is okay, totally atrophied हो जाता है. I want that thing to go away from all of you. All good? Okay, so the component that I'm adding is your practice test component, where you will write with tremendous speed. Okay, and then we'll move on towards actual test and the full length test. All good here, all of you? So, आपके schedule में, if you see, the timetable has already been given to you. Today is your first class. I need to quickly prime you on what I intend to do. Here, if you can see the screen of mine. Okay. So you have got 2 classes. I'll tell you why I have the class. You've got 2 classes here. Okay, you can do online, you can do offline, your choice. Okay, you have the first practice test. Almost all practice tests I've tried to keep on Thursdays. Okay, practice test आप exam type के question लिखो कैसे वही 15, 16, 20 question जो हम देंगे आप वो लिखेंगे. Okay, and then you have another class for physical settings, then a practice test for physical settings. Okay, and then we have the actual test one, Geomorphology, which is your sectional test. Is it okay, all of you here? Okay, that's the approach I'm going to follow. We'll give it to you. Now, see, today is your first day. So I will show something what we are doing. And next class onwards, please get your question paper bank, get your textbooks. I'll teach something to you. I'll tell you what to read from where. And I want to spend more time with you trying to understand the question. Okay, कि question को उठा के, and the more question you expose yourself to, the better it is. Okay, so my approach will be in the class. Let us understand the questions. Let us structure the answer. Maybe write some answers right now, and then go back home and do a proper work. Okay? Anything else from what I've discussed right now? Yes, correct. If the practice sessions in the exam type of conditions, that is where I think the game lies. Okay. Now, I want you to see the previous year's questions quickly, okay? So that you know what I'm gunning for. I have this question bank with me. You can bring any bank, or you can go to the online website of ours, the resources page. You can download the question paper itself, the geomorphology questions. Okay, last year, define speleothems, discuss the various forms and features of speleothems. It's impossible somebody could have thought on this and prepared. Although in our last MSP, ये मैंने पढ़ाया हुआ है. I taught this, I gave a model answer also on this. I was lucky there in some ways. Okay, so I call this as, okay, not a straight question. अभी देखने से लगता है it's L1, L2 type. Otherwise, this was almost impossible to do it. Okay. Explain how various aspects of geomorphology are used in transportation, settlements, land use, planning, flood control, and flood management. I call this as L3. L3 का मतलब होता है, okay, a higher level thinking. You could not have anticipated it, and exam conditions पे लिखना बहुत मुश्किल है. So first 2 questions, both are L3 level. Okay, I know geomorphology. I know how discharge, width, and all of that are interrelated. I have the equations also in mind given by Leopold and Modoc. But इसमें लिखना 15 मार्क में 8 minutes में लिखना है, okay, और 9 minutes लिखना है, and morphology with transportation, morphology with settlements, with flood control and flood management. I think it's a tricky question. Okay. Next question. role of slope, altitude and relief in landscape development. I think this also was not a state question. Landscape development, you have to give some reference to models, give some examples. Don't keep the example only for the rivers, okay? Because altitude hai, तो periglacial भी आएगा, altitude है, तो glaciers आएंगे, altitude है, तो winds भी आएगा, because you have got Ladakh में wind erosion deserts वहां पर हैं, okay? Altitude है, you also have the role of vegetation, and tell me, okay, how altitude, slope, and relief they impact. It's a tricky question here. 3 questions regular students could not have done justice to. Okay. The examples of sketches describe mountain genesis and mountain types and give examples from various mountains of the world. इसमें क्या problem होगा? Most of us will write about fold mountains. We want fold mountains, volcanic mountains, block mountains, and escarpments also. And examples from different continents. US से बताओ, Europe से बताओ, Japan से बताओ, Australia से बताओ. Escarpments in Australia will not probably get dividing range. उसके बाद कुछ नहीं पता हमें. Okay, so in hindsight, maybe I can do it, but exam pressure में हम लिखाएंगे fold mountain लिखाएंगे, Rockies, Andes, Himalayas, Urals. उसके आगे कुछ दिमाग में नहीं आएगा. If I ask you, give me 5 names of block mountains world में, you will not have names for that. This question again, I'll say, is not something you could have, okay, done well in the exam conditions. Concept altiplanation, ये तो लोग छोड़ के आ गए हैं. Altiplanation, yes, I know altitude है, कुछ plane है, but क्या process है? The process of congelifraction, the process of congelifluction, the role of frost shattering, the role of frost heaving, ये कुछ नहीं याद आएगा आपको. पढ़ा ही नहीं आपने, simple as that. Periglacial, we tend to ignore it here. Okay. Plate tectonics as derived from isostasy and drift. यहाँ फिर फंसेंगे आप लोग. Isostasy पता है. I can link with tectonics, but drift का मैं क्या करूंगा इसका? Again, देखो आप, okay, first, okay, 3 साल में और 2 साल में 6 questions हो गया. I have not got a single state question till now. Okay. ये वाला, another level. Stream basins and drainage divides are important components to delineate watershed area. ये तो समझ में नहीं आएगा क्या पूछ रहा है. Is it from, okay, geomorphology? Is it from, okay, maybe planning concept? Is it from disaster management? किससे पूछ रहा है? What is the meaning of stream basins and drainage divides are basis of delineating watershed? You could not have answered this if given a chance. Most of you would not. Why is mapping important for analyzing geological investigations? Again, I do not know what we would have done here. And with examples, I have to investigate, okay, some of the geological process. Mapping क्यों चाहिए? And write this for how many words? Write this for 100, 150 words. 10 mark का question है. Okay. Essay on evolution of continents and oceans using various theories and models. मेरे को ये भी tricky question है. Okay. कि oceans के बाद लिखना है and continents. And what are the models we have? Okay, we have a permanency model, we have geosyncline model, we have the drift model, we have tectonics model. और लिखना कितने हैं? 10 mark में. No, 20 marks में लिखना है. ठीक है. So this is, okay, a topic that combines many things. अच्छा, continents लिख भी लें, oceans का मैं क्या करूं? So just listing the names itself, exam question becomes tricky. Discuss problems of erosion surface and explain different methods, identify them. In that year, very few people could do this. Up to you know, you must read this. What are phreatic eruptions? You would have left this. What are spits and tombolos? Spits of shayad kar bhi lein. Tombolos maybe, but to write for 10 marks, 1.5 page, again we are trapped here. Why I'm giving a list to all of you this is, your preparation has to be at a different level. And trust me, यही time है करने का. जैसा मैं पहले करता, no, यही time है आप करेंगे. So if I have seen through the questions of almost last 3 years. You have a sense. So you must go back and read the topics repeatedly. कैसे सवाल पूछे जा रहे हैं. Okay, so if if I'm categorizing it, there are one type of questions based on landforms, spits, tombolos, phreatic landforms, volcanoes क्या होते हैं, what are drumlins पूछा हुआ है, basket of egg topography. Okay, so one is on landforms. Second type of questions they're asking are asking on the tectonic issues, tectonics, drift, isostasy पूछ दिया. Okay, and last years onwards they have brought in this also now, erosion, deposition as a part of the landform development. So they're getting into exogenetic also. Okay, and more from the theoretical concepts. And I can see 2-3 questions which are applied questions. Applied questions like, okay, tell us about drainage divides, geological investigations. Okay, ये भी applied है, erosion surface and the difficulty in them. Okay, earthquake magnitudes, how are seismic zones demarcated. Okay, the knowledge of analysis. ये वाला 19 question जो है. The knowledge of slope analysis has limited field application in slope management. So they tend to ask applied question also. So what I'll do is, जो straight questions हैं, okay, those I will expect आप अपने आप prepare करें. I'll give you the content for it. The tricky one, जैसे कि ये question, okay, how do you interpret this question? ये question का problem है interpretation. Okay. इस question का problem है again interpretation. What does it demand? Okay, the same thing. Interpretation here. What is the question demanding? Tectonics from isostasy and the drift. ये क्या कहना चाह रहा है? ये interpretation problem है. What does the question mean? Stream basins and drainage divides are important components to delineate watershed areas. So my focus for the preparation will be something on this kind. What I will do is, okay, there are L1 questions, L2 questions and L3 questions. Okay, L1, L2, L1 जो होते हैं ये straight वाले होते हैं, which is something like, okay, waterfold mountains, explain the features of plate boundaries, evidences of a drift theory, write a note on Pink's slope analysis, compare contrast Davis and Pink theory. ये सब okay, ये straight questions हैं, they are in your notes, they are the regular type. इस पे हम ज्यादा time नहीं देंगे. I will not give, but आप करेंगे prepare. You will not leave this. L2 questions, L3 questions, these are the more tricky ones. Beyond syllabus sometimes, questions understanding will be an issue, the structuring will be an issue. What I will do is, L1, L2, I will provide you with answers ready-made. I'll give you approximately 30 to 60 answers पकड़ा देंगे कि जाओ रट्टा मारो. And many of them will be of the previous year's questions itself. Go memorize it. Okay. And in the class, like today's class, I will discuss more of L3 types. Make sense, all of you? Because L3 बेटा आप अपने आप करने में थोड़ा struggle हो जाएगा. Like, of course, I'll keep some L3 here also, but I will want to focus on this mainly. Because, you know, see, L1, L2 questions, अगर आपने miss कर दिया, then this is your negative marking. You can't miss any question of L1, L2. L3 questions, अगर नहीं लिख पाए, okay, कोई भी नहीं लिख पा रहा है. लेकिन अगर आपने थोड़ा बहुत लिख दिया, that's your huge edge. So जो spike होता है ना, वो spike यहां से होता है. Others can't write, others can't attempt. They write something, okay, vague, but you have done some work, the mark will shoot up here. This is important to maintain the base level. इसको अगर नहीं पता है, फिर तो आप dip कर जाओगे. So this I will support you with our model answers. Okay, and this I will teach, I will guide you. Okay, I will make you write also, and we are on. Is it okay, all of you here? That's the approach. So some of you are asking me, sir, आप कैसे करने वाले हैं बताइए. Okay, and we'll follow this method. Any questions here? So when I'm teaching, I will move at a pace. इसलिए हम बोल रहे हैं आप किताब लेके आओ. तो किताब में मार्क करा देंगे, ये पढ़ना है, ये छोड़ो, and so on. Yeah, online, is it okay, all of you? And my target is, on average, in one class, I'll try covering 2 hours, 2.5 hours, say 3, 4 or 5 questions. If I have about 2 or 3 questions or 4 classes, aapka 10-15 questions hum kara denge. So imagine 20-30 questions here, okay, 40 questions here, and this question 10-15. 60 questions bahut hota hai to cover off, okay, one good section. End of the session, you will have with you 300-350 answer. आप उसको रट्टा मार के जाएंगे. You'll memorize and go. No, I will try not repeating the questions in the test. एक आध होगा तो होगा, that's your destiny. But the test questions will be different again. To force you to start thinking how to write this down. Mohit, nahi pata. There's no approach on this. You do not know. Chhod do usko. He is asking me how to attempt a question you do not know. Chhod do, why waste your time? Is that अच्छा है कोई और question लगाओ and try giving some more time there. Okay, fine. But there are some questions you can still attempt अगर नहीं पता है तो. Okay, so that was the approach I'm following. Now let's start off. Oh yes, I will do that. In fact, आप अभी कर सकते हो. I'll give the list of questions I will discuss in next 2 classes. हम चाहेंगे कि go back to your room and do your work on your own, and then come back so I can move faster. You'll know that your thinking process was right or wrong. I can do that. What books will I provide? अच्छा, आपको क्या-क्या हम support कर देंगे? Okay. What I'll support you with is, okay, actually I'll give you a list of questions. Okay, these are all L3 questions. I will give you a bank of answers. The bank will have L1 questions, some L2 questions, some L3 questions, plus some PYQ also that I think are more important. I'll give you a bank of answers. Today first day hai, so the offline students will get a handout printed form mein, but beta main agle class onwards nahi dunga. Simple reason is it's too expensive. So now you have it online medium. I'll put on the portal, all of you should have access. और वहां से कल and download and you start studying. ठीक है, so today I'm giving you, but all of this will be in your soft copy form. But today first day, okay, I'll give you, okay, as a handout. Yes, okay, list of questions हम आपको पहले से बता देंगे. But I hope you will realize I don't want to dump all questions on one day itself. So कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. ठीक है? So I will do this progressively. Okay, so we start off now. We took some time to understand the process. The first question. Okay, now write down. Take your notes. Start writing. We'll discuss. The first question. The theory of geosynclines. Yes, Shubham. I'll do that also for all of you. We have a set of recorded videos for the maps. Okay, अगर आप लोग मेरे साथ क्लास में रहे हैं, you already have got that. Otherwise, I will give all of you access to those videos. There are about 38-40 odd videos हैं, in which I have taught how to draw those reference lines, what entries to practice, उतना ही करके जाना. Plus, I'll give you some new entries also. The new entries largely from those regular publications we have as Cosmos. So I'll give you what are in news, but I think you should all, okay, practice from the map videos I'm giving you already. It will be on the portal, all of you. Portal access सबके पास होना चाहिए. Online and offline, both. Aditya, on the portal, map videos will be there. I'll activate it. Give me today, tomorrow, I'll do that. Okay, we start off now, okay? The first question I said was, the theory of geosynclines interpreted as birthplace of folded belts. The theory of geosynclines interpreted as birthplace of folded belts Okay. Until a steady flow of geophysical results. Until a steady flow of geophysical results from the oceans had seriously weakened the theory. Had seriously weakened the theory. Here, this one. The theory of geosynclines, interpreted as birthplace of fold mountain belts. Okay, it should have been was here. The theory of geosynclines was interpreted as the birthplace of folded belts until a steady flow of geophysical results from the oceans had seriously weakened the theory. Discuss. लिख लिया आप लोगों ने? I'm giving you some minutes. First think, make some jottings, then we'll have some discussions on this. One technique of writing answers is you could try mentally to rephrase the question and simplify कि क्या पूछ रहा है. And this one technique I teach also for the essays. Okay, कि अगर आप questions को अगर अपने शब्दों में दोबारा लिखें, simple statements में, words में, what would the question look like? Big words हैं, interpreted, steady flow of geophysical results, okay, birthplace of fold belts. Simplify the question. What does the question want? The question is telling us what? Basically saying that the geosyncline concept was an acceptable, okay, concept to explain fold mountains, but new discoveries and new findings related to the ocean floor, okay, ultimately, okay, dismissed, ultimately challenged geosynclines, okay, in fold mountain building. ये कहना चाह रहा है that for a long time the geosynclines were interpreted as a reliable theory for folded belts. कि geosynclines से हमें समझ में आ रहा है, yes, it's a good theory to understand fold mountain building. But हुआ क्या? कुछ discoveries आ गया, कुछ findings आ गया, there were some gaps, and ultimately the geosyncline concept was discarded. It was not good enough anymore. Okay, so the theory of geosynclines was interpreted as the birthplace of fold belts until a steady flow. Until का मतलब उसके बाद में वो रुक गया. Steady flow of geophysical results from oceans seriously weaken the theory. Discuss. Okay, so if I am write an answer, सबसे पहले important, what I teach all of you is, you must have a storyline in your answer. आप कोई भी आंसर, कोई ऐसे लिखें, any, okay, talk देना चाहें, anything which is a part of some knowledge sharing, सब में आपका एक storyline होना चाहिए. That I will talk about idea 1, then I will talk about idea 2, I'll move towards idea 3, I'll move towards idea 4, and then I'll come towards conclusion. You must have a flow कि कैसे आप discuss करेंगे उसको. If you don't have this picture in mind, your answer cannot be a smooth write-up. ठीक है? So idea 1, idea 2 कैसे होगा? So if I am thinking aloud, I'll say, अच्छा, yes, I'll say, yes, fold mountains have some unique features that earlier theories could not explain. Okay, geosynclines was very convincing because it explained 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Okay, then I will say third. However, geosynclines could not explain some things like 1, 2, 3 points. Okay, but when okay, the ocean study started. Okay, ocean studies told us one idea, second idea, third idea, and these ideas were not compatible with what was told about fold mountains by geosynclines. Okay, this is my storyline. Therefore, we need new theories, and maybe, okay, plate tectonics help replace geosyncline theory. बस हो गया आपका storyline. It looks okay, very doable, provided you see this logically. The first point is, fold mountains are unique landforms, जो कि पहले वाले theories कुछ बता नहीं पा रहे थे. How are they formed? Okay, geosyncline was very convincing because it said some things, it can explain some things, but कुछ gaps रह गया था. Even then I'll say geosynclines were still the most credible theory. But then some ocean discoveries told us some new things, and in light of the new things, अब ये enough नहीं बनेगा. Is it okay? So this is not a question that is to be written as what are the merits and demerits of geosyncline theory. Content तो वही है, more or less. The storyline is different. I hope you understand this point here. This is the story I want you to build. Yes, later sea floor spreading or whatever, we'll come to that. Make sense, all of you? Okay, so the first point. Okay, fold mountains, and there's the key ideas. Okay, fold mountains, sedimentary hai. Fold mountains are mobile belts. Fold mountains, okay, they are specific locations. Fold mountains are not random ki kahin bhi ban jayega. Okay, fold mountains, some of them are linked to volcanism. Okay, now these things could not be explained by, okay, the catastrophic origin of Earth. ये समझा नहीं पा रहा था. What is catastrophic Earth's origin? The Earth was formed from some explosion, okay, maybe by nebular accretion, maybe because of impact of meteorites. ऐसे बना था Earth शायद. Go back to ideas of origin and evolution of the Earth's crust. Okay, so if I go back to some old ideas was Earth probably was the consequence of nebular process. अब इसमें fold mountains कैसे बने? How do I know? You go back to theories of impact of meteorites. Impact of meteorites, craters ban gaya, but that can't explain my fold mountains. Okay, I have the theory called as the permanency of oceans and continents by Harold Jeffrey. He talks about how Earth was cooling and contracting and the mountains as wrinkles. Okay, ये तीन चार concepts ये समझा नहीं पा रहा है. Why fold mountains are sedimentary? Why are they marine deposits? Why are they mobile deposits? Why they don't form anywhere, everywhere? Why they have volcanism? हम समझा नहीं पा रहे. Okay, so to answer this, the first serious attempt was the concept of Hall and Dana's geosynclines, and the other theories like those of style, the ideas of Schuchert, the ideas of Kober. Okay, all of this helped understand the fold mountains. I'm presuming you know these terms, all of you. Okay, Hall and Dana. Okay, they talk about a shallow geosyncline, slowly, gradually sinking floor. That's why all layers have shallow deposits. Okay, we have the ideas of Schuchert. They can be small geosynclines, the big geosynclines, the deep geosynclines. They can have mu geosynclines, EU geosynclines. They can be ocean floor deep deposits, shallow deposits. That was about style. Kober, he talks about how there's a sequence in how geosyncline forms. So all of this looks very convincing in how mountains are formed. Using these theories, what could be explained? क्या क्या आप explain कर पा रहे थे? You would explain the geosynclines as marine origin, because geosynclines were on the margins. They were on the margins. You could explain why geosynclines are mobile. Why are they mobile? Because they have soft sediments. There's some compression going on. Okay, so they are mobile sediments. They are soft sediments and there is compression going on. Compression के बारे में क्या बोला गया था? Okay, we had Kober who said, Kober talked about cooling of the crust. Cooling of the crust creating compression. Okay, please keep jotting as I speak, okay? Then we had the idea of Taylor. याद आ रहा है Taylor? Taylor talked about how Eurasian, Laurasia and Gondwana collided. Okay, the first theory of drift theory was given by Taylor, 1908 mein. He talks about, okay, not plates, but he said there was a Laurasian continent and there was the Gondwana continent that collided. So very good. This theory could explain the trans-Eurasian mountain systems. Alps se leke Himalayas tak samjha raha tha. So very good, credible, yes. Okay, Taylor can explain. Kober could explain the sequence information. I hope you got the point here. Achha. Then, this geosyncline idea was also taken up by Wegener. Wegener says the geosynclines margins mein hai, and there's scraping going on as the continents are moving. Okay, so Wegener's idea of scraping sediments as the continents are moving. Okay, so all of this looks very nice. Okay, they can explain. Okay, marine origin, they can explain soft mobile, they can explain the process, they could explain the trans-Eurasian mountains, they can explain why fold mountains are on the margins of the continents. Okay, but some things not explained. Not explained kya tha? How are the fold mountains associated with volcanism? ये इसको समझा नहीं पा रहा था. Why should fold mountains have volcanism? Okay. Why should fold mountains be inside the continents? Okay. And if inside continents, then यहाँ पर marine sediments कहाँ से आया? This is what Taylor tried explaining, but Taylor had no mechanism with him. Taylor said there was a Eurasian, Laurasian continent. There was a Gondwana continent. So for whatever reasons, they come together. Why, how, some theory he had. And the sea shrunk and the mountains are formed. His problem was the driving mechanism was incorrect. Go back to this formula of mine. Fold mountains are unique. Old theories can't tell us much. Geosynclines gave us a lot of ideas. Yes, agreed. 4, 5, 6 names. But कुछ gaps तो रह गया. अब यही gap को aggravate कर दिया when we started, okay, the ocean floor mapping. When we started ocean floor mapping, what was the mapping telling us? Mapping was telling us, number one, that the coastal mountains like Andes, like Rockies, okay, these mountains are associated with trenches. ये पहले किसी ने नहीं बताया था. Okay, trenches was a new discovery that old theories did not talk about. Fine. Second observation that they had about the fold mountains, okay, that the sea floor spreading talks about that the oceans are subducting and not continents floating over the oceans. एक नया discovery हो गया आपका. ठीक है. The third evidence, the third discussion that they had is, okay, that the volcanism of the coastal mountains, okay, was a very specific andesitic eruptions. Okay, ये volcanic eruptions बहुत specific थे. The andesitic eruptions. This we did not know about. Why? अच्छा. Then, okay, we also found the moors on the ocean floor. They found, remember the magnetic strips of reverse polarity, yaad aa raha hai? They found that, and this was not easy to link with how oceans expand and how fold mountains form. These were some of the discoveries from the ocean floor. Okay, so this starts questioning कि geosyncline concept जरूरी भी है या नहीं. Okay, the whole idea of this important point, the whole idea of okay, the accretionary prism formation because of ocean floor scraping. The whole idea of accretionary prism formation because of ocean floor scraping discarded how Kober interpreted the sedimentation in the geosynclines. It discarded how Kober interpreted the sedimentation of the geosynclines. Is it okay, all of you? Therefore, okay, अब आप आओगे conclusion में. Okay, therefore, okay, the geosyncline concept was severely challenged, and the new plate tectonics model, where fold mountains explained in terms of plate collisions, fold mountains as a consequence of, okay, OO collision, OC collision, CC collision, and the 3 types. This became more popular. I know I'm moving at a speed, but I can't be teaching Kober theory here. ये आप अपने आप पढ़ के आएंगे, understand the notes, whatever you know. Okay. इसका अगर आप एक हल्का वाला मॉडल भी लिखाएंगे ना, तब भी आपका आंसर अच्छा होगा. अब आपका फ्लो बन गया. Is it okay, all of you? Online. Yes, Kashish, tell me, what's your doubt? They are deliberately kept to the findings of the ocean floor alone. Because question वही मांग रहा है ना, क्वेश्चन ही मांग रहा है, बट एंड में हम बता देंगे कि फोल्ड माउंटेन सीसी टाइप के भी होते हैं. Okay, and we find marine sediments even in this middle Himalayas has marine sediments, no? What do we call them as? What are the marine sediments of the Himalayas called as? Anybody? Yes, they're called as nummulitic deposits, nummulitic sediments. ये middle Himalayas से मिलता है. The fourth finding, the bands of reverse polarity strips, Rahul. You have got more? Okay. They found the polarity north-south. I think you know all of this. And then link this with how the ocean dynamism is linked to your mountain building. हाँ, उसके बाद Kashish, okay, fine. You can do that. Tectonics is more inductive at a local level. Geosyncline is more generic. Yes. Yes. He was taking the ideas of Taylor ahead. Okay. Yes. So neither Taylor nor Wegener used the idea called the geosynclines, but Wegener was using Taylor's ideas of Tethys. Okay, that's why we added that as one statement. And when Wegener was giving his theory, geosyncline concepts लोगों को पता था. The theory is a concept geosyncline already given. It's a pretty old concept of Hall and Dana. The scraping of the ocean was accepted, but scraping because of subduction, not because of continents floating over the oceans. All good here? So देखो, एक general tendency होगा आंसर में to write down what are geosynclines, how do geosynclines explain fold mountain, and what are the limitations. ये एक tendency है, यही आंसर बनता है. Okay, what are geosynclines? They are narrow, long, mobile, okay, shallow along the margins, Hall and Dana, and you have all those points there. Okay, and how they explain fold mountains, you'll talk about covert theory. ये sequence से बन जाता है. Limitations, you have some points. But see, this format is not what the question demands. Question कह रहा है कि geosyncline अच्छा concept था, वो बता भी रहा था बहुत कुछ. Then the problem was when ocean mapping was done, then geosyncline was discarded. मुझे ये चाहिए storyline, not this one. That's why I want to fit you into sequence first. ये sequence ही वाला. All fine? Yes? Okay. Because of the tricky wordings, कैसे flow करेंगे? अगर ये question होता, तो ये आपका L1 या L2 हो गया straight. The moment I say, tell me, link it to the ocean floor mapping, you are trapped there. ठीक है? Can I move on now? Next question. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Submit diagram आएगा. You have got you can have schematics here. Okay, older theories of mountain building, you can use a schematic here. You can use a flow chart here. You need not write down as list like this. Then Hall and Dana concepts, you can always draw, okay, the sequence of how it was explained. Okay, the series here, subduction here, sorry, the deepening here, then there's compression, it rises up. Use diagrams here. This mobile zones, covert theory, यहाँ भी ला सकते हो आप. तो आपके हर पेज में अगर एक आध है तो good enough. ठीक है? Okay. Try another question. River channel a river channel represents a three-dimensional form. A river channel represents a three-dimensional form defined by its slope, cross-section, and pattern. A river channel represents a three-dimensional form defined by its slope, cross-section, and pattern. Explain. River channel represents a three-dimensional form defined by its slope, cross-section, and pattern. Explain. Online, did you all get the question online? Did you all get the question? Good, nice. चलो बताओ फिर इसमें क्या लिखेंगे? Think to the question first. If I am simplifying it, what do you think question is asking? The feature of rivers includes slope, cross section, okay, and its pattern. ठीक है. Effect of dimension पूछ रहा है क्या? Anshul, is the topic asking you, tell us the effect of slope or effect of discharge, बोल रहा है क्या? ये तो statement दे दिया है कि river channel represents a three-dimensional form defined by slope, cross section, and pattern. तो सोचो इसको क्या कहना चाह रहा है और ये स्टेटमेंट क्यों बोला जा रहा है? क्या आपको पता नहीं है? रिवर हैज अ क्रॉस सेक्शन, ऑल ऑफ अस नो, राइट? A river has a slope, all of us know that. Like a river has its own pattern, ये भी पता है. तो इसमें एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी क्या पूछ दिया है इसमें? It's about channel geometry, fluid dynamics. Yes, it is. But what it is trying to ask, if I make a statement like, I'm a man with my own ambitions, with my own fear, and with my own talent. Explain. ये statement क्यों बोला जाएगा? पहले ये बताओ. What do you think? What do you think makes me say this? पहले ये सोचो. वो क्या conversation चल रहा होगा? I'll say, look, I'm a man of my own dreams. I'm a man of my ambitions, and I'm a man who also has his fears. What is the conversation going on? In response to which the statement has been said. वो identify करो पहले. What's the context? River's characteristics. Okay, fine. Yes. River का uniqueness है. तो क्या डिस्कशन चल रहा होगा जिसके वजह से बोलना पड़ा कि देखो रिवर का भी यूनिकनेस है. You are there. Yeah. Yes, but tell me a bit more. What are the impacts of these factors? तो मैं सीधा पूछ लेता कि tell us how the slope and or the what the cross section impacts. ऐसे पूछ लेता. ऐसा स्टेटमेंट क्यों दे रहा है? रिवर रिप्रेजेंट्स दिस. ये स्टेटमेंट क्यों दे रहा है? पूछ लेता आपको सिंपल वर्ड में. टेल अस द इंपैक्ट ऑफ स्लोप, टेल अस द इंपैक्ट ऑफ क्रॉस सेक्शन, व्हाटएवर. Impact, okay. Yes. On the basis of these features, explain a river channel. Yeah, you're not wrong. You look fairly better than most, at least. Yes. So this is a statement. कहां से आ रहा है पहले बताओ. Yeah. Go back to go. Yes, you're right. You're right. Not wrong there. Same question. कि देखो यार, I am a man of my dreams. I have my own fears. I have my own ambitions. ये कब बोलूंगा मैं? When people don't acknowledge me, no? या मेरा ये काम कर दिया, या तू मुझे हेल्प कर दिया, ये कर दे, मैं क्या रुक जा यार, मेरा भी अपने सपने हैं ना. I also have my. So you तो never get feared. You can do anything on the world. So no, wait. मेरे भी अपने fears हैं. I hope you got the point here. So this statement comes from a conversation that says rivers are agents of erosion, and all rivers will make delta. All rivers will make a V-shaped valley. Okay, rivers are part of a landform evolution. High rivers will have canyons. Low-lying features will have peneplains. Have you got the point here? So in that conversation, जहां पर river is talked in terms of a denudation agent, फिर आप river की बात कहां कर? आप तो river की impact की बात कर रहे हो ना? But realization is river is not making deltas. River is not simply river erodes. River not simply river meanders. River is every river is unique because उसके अपने valley systems हैं, उसके अपना cross section है, उसका अपना slope है, उसके patterns अलग हैं. The river of northern plain is not same as river of the plateau, not same as river of the mountains, not same as an old river, not same as young river. Why? Because they have different cross sections, they have got different slopes, and they have different types of patterns. So this question is based on, can we appreciate the river on the basis of its own elements rather than talk only in terms of what they do? I hope you got the point here, all of you. This is the key thought I'm trying to force out of you. Why did geomorphology require the concept of channel morphology? इसके पहले river पढ़ाई नहीं हुआ था क्या? Davis is studying rivers. We all read rivers. Okay, they make valleys, they make deltas, they make oxbow lakes, they make floodplains, they are meanders. सब पढ़ता है हमें. Why did I have a separate chapter called as channel morphology? Why I'm talking about river का slope है, steep हो सकता है, gentle हो सकता है, irregular thalweg है, smooth thalweg है. Why am I saying all of this? That there are 2-3 ways of studying a river. One way is see the river as an agent of denudation. फिर वो कोई river है, Mississippi हो, Ganga हो, Changjiang हो, Luang हो, all of them, V-shaped valley, all of them make deltas along the mountain. All of them, flat plains will meander. Okay. This is one way of river as an agent of denudation. Done. फिर हम बोलेंगे, look the way Davis discussed river. River as an agent of slope evolution. वो river की तो बात ही भी नहीं कर रहे हैं. वो कह रहे landform can be steep, landform can have gorges, landform can have flat plains, landform can become peneplain. River कहाँ गया इसमें? The river is like a background agent. उसका कुछ काम नहीं है. It only shapes the landscape. और third idea, river causes floods, river causes droughts. पानी है तो floods है, नहीं है तो droughts है. Have you got the point here? So historically, rivers have been studied more in terms of what they do, the impact on society, the impact on landforms, on the landscapes. But the fact is, every river is a personality with its own cross sections, its patterns, and its slope characteristics. Is it okay? And then you will say that these elements also interact with one another. Slope impacts valley, valley impacts slope. Okay, the patterns impact the valley, the pattern impacts the cross section, and so on. And then give examples. So no two rivers are same. No two rivers defined in terms of same features. Now give examples. कहीं symmetrical valley है, कहीं asymmetrical valley है, कहीं पर V-shaped valley है. Are all river valleys only V-shaped? No. We can have rectangular river valleys also. We can have symmetrical valley also, asymmetrical also. वो कौन बताएगा? Are all river patterns same? No. Dendritic भी है, trellis भी है, rectangular भी है, which means a river is defined by the landscape on it which flows. The river agent है नहीं अलग बात है, but landscape भी impact करता है river को. This is the focus of the question. ये समझ में आ गया, then you're on, no problem, right? Yeah, online, is it okay, all of you? Yes, Pankaj, you're right, correct. Yes, so this is what I want, कि आप questions को थोड़ा सा सोच के अटैक करो. Okay, you began with is asking an impact. I say no, इसको rephrase. कहां पे लिखा है its impact बताओ. It says river is represented by three-dimensional form. A river's feature, a property है, it has a valley, it has a cross section, it has a pattern. इसको ignore ना करो. Okay, so how do I now make my storyline? The storyline of this question. Okay, so there are, first point will be, there are different ways of studying rivers, channels and streams. Okay, the storyline always comes from my questions understanding. There are different ways of studying rivers, channels and streams. Okay, traditionally, rivers seen mainly as an agent of erosion, river seen as an agent in a slope evolution, or a river is seen in terms of impact on man, floods and droughts. Traditionally, rivers have been studied as agents of denudation. Okay, so जब भी river erode करेगा, it will make a V-shaped valley. If it deposits, it will make a floodplain, it will make a delta, whatever. River as agents of denudation. Rivers, Davis model tha, rivers as agents of slopes evolution. Okay, the stage wise, young river, young slopes, old river, old slope. A river always starts from mountains, ends in the penny plain. इसमें तो river की बात भी नहीं हो रही है, इसमें तो बस landscape की बात हो रही है ना. It's like, family में मेरा एक ही औकात है, कितने पैसे कमा के लाए हो बताओ end of the day, right? ऐसे नहीं यार, I'm more than that. I have my dreams also. पैसे कमाता हूँ, ठीक है, fine. मेरे सपने भी तो हैं, मेरे fears भी तो हैं, मेरे expectations भी तो हैं. So ignore क्यों मार रहे हो? This is what the topic is saying. That the rivers are not simply agents of denudation. Rivers not simply as agents of slope evolution. Rivers not only in terms of how they impact man favorably or unfavorably. Okay, the rivers each have their own unique characteristics. Each river has its own personality and features associated with their flow systems. Okay, and it is a channel morphology, okay, that emphasizes a river to be seen in terms of its slope characteristics, seen in terms of its cross section, seen in terms of its patterns, and not just that, it also in terms of what type of sediments it carries, load, in terms of, okay, whether it is a sinuous river, it is a meandering river based on its sinuosity index. ये भी तो है. तो rivers को पढ़ने के बहुत तरीके हैं. Okay, not simply this. अब आपका आंसर शुरू होगा. So you can, in your answer, ये तीन को आप squeeze कर सकते हो into maybe one paragraph. There are many ways to study a river. Traditionally, rivers have been seen more as agents of denudation, agents of slope evolution like that of Davis, okay, and rivers as impacting man. All rivers are seen to create deltas, V-shaped valleys, of floodplains, gorges. But the fact is, every river is a unique set of certain elements that make up the river. Channel morphology explains river in terms of cross sections, whatever you have here. Okay, अब आप body बनाओगे आप इसमें. Body is a river as river as features related to its slope. 2-3 points. बताओ क्या लिखोगे इसके अंदर में? River as features related to its slope. Okay, So rivers vary in terms of slope steepness. Rivers vary in terms of slope regularities. Slopes can be flat, uniform, halved, or the slopes can be irregular. Okay, slopes uniform or irregular. This in turn depends on the type of landscape and the rocks. Type of landscapes and the rocks. So there are channels which are alluvial channels. They will have smooth slopes. They will have gentle slopes. And then there are bedrock channels. Yeah, there are terms, bedrock channels. Bedrock channels will have hard, resistant rocks. They will have irregular halved. Okay. It is this aspect of slope which can impact river navigability. Right? This aspect of slope can impact a river's usefulness in terms of waterfalls and power generation. These rivers may irregular slopes hain. Okay, you will have dams in the downstream, Hongenickel Falls, Mettur Dam, okay, Ithipotla Falls, Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. But agar smooth halved hai, you will not have any dams. Think of Ganga River. You don't have any rivers, dams downstream. Okay. The slope profile of rivers can also be impacted by what? River rejuvenation. कि slopes में nick points आ जाएंगे. Slope can become irregular. हो गया? River in terms of slopes. So I hope you know what are bedrock channels and what are alluvial channels. What are bedrock channels and what are alluvial channels? Alluvial channels which flow through soft sediments, erodible sediments like Ganga system. Bedrock channels, the river flows through hard, resistant rocks like the rivers of the peninsular plateau. ठीक है? तो आपको अगर पढ़ना होगा, I'll tell the page number to all of you on this. Okay, but let me finish this topic first. ये हो गया आपका? Done all of you? Slopes वाला हो गया? Now you talk in terms of rivers and their features associated with cross sections. You say conventionally, river valleys are seen as V-shaped valleys. But there are a lot of variations in the V shape. They can be open V. These are old senile rivers. They can be deep V. These are gorges. These are young rivers. They can be very deep canyons. Okay. The river valleys can also be composite cross sections, such as valleys within valleys. ये भी हो सकता है ना? सिर्फ ये थोड़ी है, आपके ये भी तो valleys बनते हैं. Entrenched valleys, yeah, yes, incised valleys, entrenched valleys. So the river is in terms of its cross section. Is it a simple V? Is it an open V? Is it a deep V? Is it a composite V? ये भी the important part है. Then the river valleys can also be asymmetric. So one is steep, other is maybe gentle. Asymmetrical valleys, they can be governed by the nature of sediments, the nature of the bedrocks. Maybe यहाँ पर soft sediments हैं, ये काट दिया. ये hard rocks हैं, ये काट नहीं पा रहा है. Asymmetrical would also mean meandering. I hope you know this meandering वाला. याद है कुछ? Meandering में there's a steep valley जहां पर river का ये outer bend में होता है. What do you call this as? River? What? River cliffs. And the inward side जहां पर depositions होता है उसको बोलते हैं slip of slopes. Meandering. If you have a meandering river like this is side A, this is side B. Okay. A is the outside bend. B is the inside bend. Outside bend में erosion हो रहा है. Erosion हो रहा है तो ये आपका ये वाला बनेगा. Steep बनेगा. यहाँ पर deposition हो रहा है तो यहाँ पर ये बनेगा. To take a cross section, okay, ऐसे हो रहा है. So river valleys also tell us about the river properties. Symmetrical, asymmetrical, okay, composite valleys, deep valleys, ये भी feature है. Okay, so river valleys can also be determined by the nature of material. Is it composite material? Sorry, is it cohesive material? Is it cohesive material? Is it easily erodible material? अगर cohesive होगा, river valleys will be narrow. अगर erodible होगा, the river valleys will be broader. ठीक है? If the floor is hard rocks and the banks are soft material, आप बताओ किस टाइप का वैली बनेगा? If the floor is hard rocks and the banks are soft, what type of river will we have? Valley. It'll have a rectangular shape. ये वाला deep नहीं हो रहा है, but ये वाला erode हो रहा है. The river valley is also a function of the type of sediment, the type of rocks. Rectangular cross sections, asymmetrical cross sections, again open V cross sections, deep V cross sections, canyon gorges. What look like क्या लिखेंगे? अब आपको प्रॉब्लम होगा कि क्या नहीं लिखेंगे सर. अब बताओ what limit cross हो रहा है. U-shaped valley glaciers में है, but yes, we can also have like a U-shape, but it's better called as this. Third aspect. Okay, a river features in terms of river patterns. So river pattern is also an important aspect of drainage systems or channel systems. River pattern is also an aspect of the channel system. It's about how the tributaries are related to the mainstream in terms of shapes. How the tributaries are related to the mainstream in terms of shapes. We can have dendritic ones. We can have rectangular ones. We can have trellis drainage. We can have radial drainage. 4-5 names. In terms of shapes, barb patterns. Okay, these are called as barbed river systems. It's like a barbed river system. So the river patterns are more dependent on the landscape lithology. On the landscape lithology. आपको कुछ समझने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस touch and go ahead. So when do we have dendritic? This is dendritic, right? This is dendritic. This is rectangular. This is radial. This is trellis. This is barb. So what type of landscape? Dendritic होता है in locations that have uniform lithology. हर जगह same type के rocks हैं. So think of Himalayan landscape. The soft rocks, uniform lithology में dendritic होता है. Rectangular when you have granitic rocks. Granite develops cracks and joints at right angles. Okay. Radial, जब ये होगा isolated hill या फिर कोई basin होगा. It can be centrifugal or also centripetal. Both are examples of radial. अगर basin है, like river Chard Lake, they all can come and converge. Okay, this is Amarkantak, a hill, centripetal. When will we have trellis? We'll have a steep mountain, tab hoga. If I have a steep slope like this, the main consequent river and all the river comes and joins parallelly from one side. Trellis. I hope it's okay, all of you here. So quickly. So therefore, yes, the river systems are represented by their valleys, their cross sections, their slopes, and their drainage patterns. And we'll add one sentence on that these elements also interact. These elements also interact. The nature of slopes and the type of sediments. The steep slope, gentle slope, whatever. It can impact downstream characteristics. It can impact downstream characteristics. It is through this question you must go back and revise channel morphology. Okay, so to tell you the page number on this. Page number 305. It has the landforms of rejuvenation. 305 has landforms of rejuvenation. Page number 426 and 427. 426, 427. The types of valley within valleys. I'm following this book, Geomorphology by Savindra Singh. Page numbers आगे पीछे होगा तो होगा, but ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. Okay, so the first one was from chapter number 16, 1.6. Topographic expressions of rejuvenation, polycyclic reliefs. Our second discussion was from page 22, chapter 22, about the type of valley within valleys. You can also look up page number 400. Okay. First column, it's about the different types of valleys: symmetrical valley, asymmetrical valley, rectangular valleys, how that depends on what type of material. Page 400. This is chapter 21, channel morphology. Then I discussed something from page 404, channel types. Page 404, channel types, bedrock channels, alluvial channels. Bedrock channels and alluvial channels. You can also look up now. I'll suggest if you can quickly scan this page, which is page 342, chapter number 18, drainage patterns. Chapter 18, 1.8 and 342, drainage patterns. Uh, 327 तो मैंने नहीं कहा. Did I say 27? No. Vivek, you may have missed something. Yeah. 427. 427. has the types of valley within valleys, entrenched valleys, incised valleys, ingrown meanders. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. The next question. Next question is denudation chronology approach is a highly deductive. Denudation chronology approach is highly deductive. But it also suffers from certain, is highly deductive, but it suffers from certain perceptible weaknesses. From perceptible weaknesses. Explain. It suffers from certain perceptible weaknesses. Explain. I'm presuming आपने ये topic पढ़ा हुआ है, and they have been asking questions from these topics. अगर आपने ये 5-6 सवाल कर लिया है, you have taken care of mountain building, tectonics हो गया, I've touched on channel morphology, I'm touching on erosional surface. So ऐसे ही I will touch the topics of your syllabus. Repeat the question. Okay. Denudation chronology approach is highly deductive, but also suffers from certain perceptible weaknesses. Explain. It suffers from certain perceptible weaknesses. Okay, let's see. Do some jottings. Okay, क्या सोच रहे हैं? What can the story be according to you? Let's see. What does the word but mean? But जो word है वो कुछ कहना चाह रहा है क्या? The state question has two parts, right? That is doing this, but it has weakness. So what does the word but tell you? Yeah? Huh? Yes. So अच्छा है कि बुरा है? It is deductive, but also suffers from weakness. तो deductive idea बुरा है कि अच्छा है? समझ में आ रहा है यहाँ पर? जो but add कर दिया है, it basically saying अच्छी बात है, it is deductive. It's a good thing. You must tell me how is that a good thing? However, there are problems. It's not a straight question of what are the problems. Remember this. It's not simply about tell us the problems of denudation chronology techniques. First, tell me how is a good idea, and good idea in terms of deductive technique. But there are problems. By the way, in science, what do we generally have theories like? In science, we prefer what? Inductive or deductive? I have to go back to some other concepts. Yeah? Deductive or inductive? Inductive. What we prefer? Which type of theories are considered to be better theories, deductive or inductive? Of course, there is merit in both. Most theories are deductive in nature, remember this. So let me explain the concept. Okay, I have a hunch. इससे कुछ ना कुछ पूछ देगा. Okay, in some way or the other. नहीं भी पूछा, आप उसको apply करना. Okay, so let me explain this to you. अभी आंसर नहीं, पहले आप समझ जाओ question, then we'll come back on the answer. So essentially, the debate is about scientific approaches in geography. ये debate है. How do we have science? Science का दो तीन measure है. There must be a cause-effect relationship. There must be evidences in support of what you do. Whatever you find out, it must be a replicable and a repeatable. They have to be objective. This is, in some ways, is also the scientific positivism. I'm assuming you know these words from geographical thought. Any theory, any idea is positivist when it is objective, it is replicable, supported with evidences, and wherever possible, there is cause-effect relationship. Okay? So what happens is, given the diversity of phenomena, given the complexities of possibilities, given the uncertainties, given the diversity of phenomena, complexities of possibilities, and uncertainties in correlationships. Okay. Deductive methods are convenient. They're convenient and they are logically established. Deductive methods are convenient. Okay, they are logical, random nahi hota hai. What I mean by that is, now see, one method is that I examine every possible instance. I study every element and then conclude and generalize. That I study every possible instance. जितना possible है, हम सब पढ़ेंगे. We study every possible say event, and then we conclude and generalize. If you ask me, is the Earth a sphere? They काम करेंगे. Let us study all the bodies of the planet, of the universe. Okay, solar systems, galaxies, सब पढ़ लिया. And I found every body is a sphere. Maybe couple of exceptions. इतना millions पढ़ने के बाद में, so all probability Earth is also a sphere. कि सर मैं पास कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं? ऐसे एक काम करते हैं. Let me have a data first. Okay, all the people who have ever appeared, studied every instance of Marx, made some study, and then said, "Oh yes, you are like this, so yes, you will qualify." I have studied every instance, her data, her sample, every possible event. मैंने पढ़ लिया. Then I conclude. We call this as inductive. Inductive क्या होता है? It moves from specifics. It moves from the particulars. It moves from the many instances, and then you are giving a generalization. This is called as inductive techniques. But what we realize is, science में all instances जाना impossible है. How can I study billions of stars and galaxies and trillions of galaxies? How can I do that? How can I study all possible instances of किसने examination दिया था? So what we do is, what is done is that a few instances are studied. Okay, from the few instances, generalization is made, and we call this as hypothesis, and then it is checked for more instances. So I'll study few instances, not all instances, few instances. Yes, Mars is spherical, Venus is spherical, okay, Jupiter is spherical, तो यार लगता है कि Earth भी spherical होगा. So I made a law that yes, Earth is spherical. Okay. Now I'll study more and more कि अच्छा Uranus भी spherical है, तो Earth भी हो सकता है. Okay. Sun भी spherical है, so I agree, Earth भी है. और यहाँ पे comet मिला, ये तो लग नहीं रहा spherical. Oh, I have put a question mark. Let me see how many type of comets are there. I found an asteroid. Is it spherical? नहीं है. I again put a question mark. Then again I find no. We have some other planets who are spherical. Hai. So conclusion is most of them spherical, but maybe some exceptions they are not. So I study some instances, make a hypothesis generalization, then I keep on checking till my theory gets discarded. My first hypothesis was yes, all celestial bodies are spherical. Then I found exceptions. Then my rephrased is most celestial bodies are spherical, but the exceptions, particularly asteroids in the belts beyond the Mars. मैंने modify कर दिया इसको. This is called as deductive models. In deductive models, you move from first a general statement, you make a law, you make a hypothesis, and then you are checking for a specific instances. यहां पर क्या है? It is from particular to general. यहां पर है from general to particular. Okay. From specifics to a law. यहां पर पहले आप law बना देते हो. Then you are moving towards particular. Sir, will I pass or not? Oh, wait. Oh, yes, my cousin had passed. Oh, that student has passed. And he was working like this. So almost same hai, so you'll also pass. So I made a law. Okay, people like XYZ studying 7 hours a day will pass. ये मेरा law बन चुका. अब हम test करेंगे. And then I find, no, I modify. अच्छा, everybody of this kind studying 7-8 hours a day plus answer writing will pass. I keep on modifying as I get new instances. I hope you got the point here. So deductive models are more convenient. Deductive models are more manageable. Deductive models are the more popular methods of scientific inquiry. Think of what Davis has done. Davis studied, some areas of US, correct? 2-3 river पढ़ लिया. Typical conditions of temperate and humid conditions. River है, and he said, oh, यहाँ पर तो है ऐसे. Young river, high mountains, large river, Sinai river, flat plains. And then he makes a law. This is what is for the whole world. ठीक है, इसमें law बन जाओ. Law of a fluvial cycle of erosion. And somebody said, यार ऐसे कैसे है? Okay, आप वहां जाओ, वहां the glaciers हैं. तो अच्छा, my law is like this. Exception. Glacial are climatic accidents. So I am modifying as I am getting some new data or insights. You all understand the idea of deductive and inductive reasoning, all of you now? अब हम कह रहे हैं that the concept of denudation chronology जो है, ये deductive है. अच्छी बात है. Deductive is manageable. Deductive is convenient. Deductive is scientific. Deductive is logical. Okay. But there are certain perceptible weaknesses. अच्छा है but perfect नहीं. अब बताओ इस statement के बारे में. Is it okay, all of you here? Okay. So one reading you can have in this is, let me get to that first. Page 22, models of analysis. Methods of analysis. Let me open the page for you. So it is through the questions I am studying, okay? That's the whole idea. This is page 22. Okay. This is the methods of analysis. Okay. This is, there are inductive methods, the deductive methods, and one is analytical method. Analytical में क्या होगा? That you formulate more than one hypothesis. Earth can be spherical. Okay. Earth can be spherical but geoid. Okay. And it's possible Earth is also rectangular. मैंने 3 law बना दिया. And I'll keep on testing whichever is more applicable. You use this in a lot of studies of human behavior. That if a man is angry, he will murder. Man is angry, he will go depression. Man is angry, he probably will go into meditation. मैंने 3 law बना दिया about anger. Now we'll check what's happening. And then I'll say, oh, based on cause effect relationship, based on reason evidences, the first 2 less likely, third one is more likely. We call that as analytical methods. Okay, so you parallelly will keep on testing. Okay, so here we are. So, yeah, inductive method. Inductive methods, this is in successive steps, observed facts of given problems, one leads to another. Okay, and the theory is made in the last stage. देख रहा है last stage में. It is suitable for simple problems. इसमें कि आपको पता है few instances that you can do that. Inductive methods, a lot of labor is required in collection of data. Okay, and you find conclusion derived at the end, and hence some questions may be questionable, conclusions may be questionable. कम data होगा, ज़्यादा time आपके पास है. Okay, you always wait for the final one and then make your conclusions. Whereas deductive में क्या है? It is first the formulation of a hypothesis about the real world in the beginning itself. The formulation is tentative, approximate formulations. Okay, deduced in advance. The facts are collected. Okay, actual field observations done and compared, and whether the hypothesis is proved or rejected, approved or rejected. Hypothesis is revised. जो नया मिलेगा आप फिर रिवाइज कर देंगे उसको. मैं बताया ना, कोई नया मिलेगा, you will change the hypothesis. Revise, entire process is referred, is repeated, and so on. Okay, but इसमें क्या है? That there is a problem of, because आपने पहले से theory बना दिया है. Theory is, if angry, I'll commit a murder. That's my theory. If I बना दिया है, what happens is, as a researcher, to prove my statement, I looked for facts that agree with my statement. I'll look for more examples where anger में murder हुआ है. I hope you got the point. That's my perceptible weakness. Example of the biases of the researcher. Okay, so this question is about that one. Is biased because collection of data, information, as he may retain only those facts which validate the tentative hypothesis and ignore the facts which do not favor his deductions. The quality of results will depend on the nature of deductions and closeness of the comparison and so on. The fundamental difference between inductive method and deductive method, okay, is that in the first method, theory is formulated in last stage, okay, whereas in the second method, hypothesis is deduced in the beginning. and the field work and data collection is accomplished according to demand of the deduced hypothesis. This is for understanding. Now going back and discuss what the question was. All fine here? I'm summarizing this conversation here. So in inductive method, we have data collection. There is a study of evidences. Then there is convergence to a theory. You collect data first, study all evidences, and you converge to a theory. This is possible when the phenomena is simple, when the data is few, less. Okay? The second is deductive methods. इसमें कि few data, because बिना data तो आप scratch से करोगे ना, ऐसे नहीं होगा. तो so few data is studied, tentative hypothesis established, then data is collected and hypothesis is tested. Then there is reformulation of hypothesis according to evidence. और ये iteration होता रहता है. This continues like this. Not this one. You few data, you have a tentative hypothesis. From this, some data is collected and hypothesis is tested. अगर कोई discrepancy हुआ, तो आप hypothesis को reframe करते हो, and that becomes the new hypothesis. Again, you do data collection. This is a series of iteration of perfection. Typically, how some innovations are done. एक बना देते हैं product, उसको आप testing करते हो, जो data समझ में आता है, फिर आप change करते हो product. You again put in testing again, and it goes on, and the product gets refined. So in actual scientific studies, this is done. This is faster. This is incremental. This is time consuming because data pehle chahiye. But the problem with this is there can be perceptible biases. I will test what seems to be closest to my theory. Okay, so look at a straight question, which is, discuss the methods of geomorphological analysis. Straight question ho gaya. Inductive, deductive, and you are on. Okay? Oh, you got the material? A few more minutes. It's a straight question. Okay. Otherwise, the way I'm discussing, our question was, tell us the denudation chronology jo hai, this is deductive. पहले आप इसको establish करो. It is deductive. Why deductive? Because it's based on study of macro geomorphology. It is based on study of very large scale time, because it is based on identification of erosional surfaces, because the geological reconstruction is done on the basis of few erosional surfaces. आप कोई जगह में जाते हैं, आप लार्ज स्केल पूरा तिब्बत पढ़ रहे हैं, आप लार्ज स्केल स्टडीज, एंटायर प्लेटो आप पढ़ रहे हो, लार्ज स्केल स्टडीज. So they are we call those as macro geomorphology studies. The macro geomorphology studies, large scale studies. Okay, inductive is never large scale. They are very specific. Deductive are large scale. In general, hoga. Okay, they study over large time scales. They cannot study the specific instance. They study in general. Is what happens in 1 million years, what happens in 20 million years. वैसे पढ़ेंगे ये लोग. They'll study based identification of erosion surface. Erosion surface अपने आप में ही, it is a very, very difficult feature to identify and isolate. Why? Because erosion surfaces can be modified. Erosion surfaces are not accessible. दिखता ही नहीं है कि surface है भी कि नहीं है. Erosion surfaces, okay, have been eroded and destroyed. Why are they difficult to identify? Why? Because they are greatly modified. They may be eroded and destroyed. Okay, they are not accessible. Okay, most of them, okay, are not identifiable. Imagine the loss of erosion surface because of ice age, loss of erosion surface because of rise in sea level, or submergence by sediments. आपके पास है ही नहीं अब. They're covered by ice. So अगर आप बना रहे हो theory on erosion surface, most of them are lost, which means you're making a theory based on very few instances, right? आपने 2-3 landform देखा and said, oh, this is the geological history. That's why it's deductive. Okay, the geological reconstruction is on the basis of few erosion surfaces. It is basically interpretation of palimpsest topography which preserves the marks of past processes. It is interpretation of palimpsests, Palimpsest, palimpsest topography, which is topography that preserves the past processes. That is why it is deductive. Okay, these type of methods, okay, they will be gross generalizations. They will have a speculative conclusions. They will lack definitive cause effect relationships. The gross generalizations, they are having speculative conclusions. You can never be sure कि right है या wrong. They lack definitive cause effect relations. You say, however, okay, deductive methods, okay, are more convenient. इसके बिना तो आप कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ पाओगे. Okay, so deductive methods in some ways are compulsions. तो आप बोलोगे इतने कम रॉक्स के बेसिस पे आपने थ्योरी बना दिया. मैंने कहा ठीक है, मैं गलत हूं, आप मुझे लेके आओ, ब्रिंग ऑल रॉक्स पॉसिबल ऑफ लास्ट 2 million years. बताओ फिर. आपके पास रॉक है नहीं. You have said Earth is round based on only 3 planets. मैं कहा ठीक है, तो बैठ पढ़ो फिर all your life, okay, 20 billion planets, and then come and tell me. Okay, so it's a compulsion. It is not a luxury. ये हमारा compulsion है. We cannot study the diversity if I want every instance. It is convenient because the fact is lot of landforms are lost. क्या करें हम उसका बताओ? I hope you got the point. And we say we make a hypothesis, और जब कुछ नया idea आएगा तो हम change कर लेंगे ना. How does it matter? Sir, give me the perfect method for preparation. I said, यार मेरे पास यही method है, शुरू करो पहले, तो अड़चन आएगी तो modify कर लेंगे. You can't wait कि I'll make a perfect method and then you will take off. I hope you got the point here. So मैंने सोच समझ के my little experience, this method शुरू करो चलो. And as and when I find problems, challenges, we'll modify it. But let's not wait for the perfect one to come up first. That's why deductive methods में ये problems तो हैं, right? But deductive methods are more convenient. Deductive methods, okay, these are a compulsion. Okay, and deductive methods definitely have given us insights into the process of the past. They have given us insights into processes of the past. Okay, we have reconstructed the landscapes of India. India's denudation chronology हमने किया है. Archean rocks, Proterozoic rocks. You have got the Dravidian rocks, Gondwana rocks. बनाया ना, sequence बनाया हम लोगों ने. Is it okay, all of you? So deductive है, मजबूरी है, उसका benefit भी है. The first part of the topic is done now. That it is deductive, yes, it is, and you have got no other recourse. Okay. However, like any other deductive method, it suffers with weakness. Weaknesses related to the researchers. The researchers' biases. Okay, that a researcher will look for evidences that support his hypothesis. ये बड़ा natural होता है. We look for evidences that support his hypothesis. And the researcher can dismiss incongruent instances as exceptions. The researcher can dismiss incongruent instances as exceptions. आप ये करोगे demonstrate through example. Davis example itself. Davis had made 4 deductive conclusions. Okay, that cycle of erosion is repetitive, continuous. ये कभी रुकेगा नहीं. Write down. Davis के क्या-क्या थे? Deductive conclusions क्या-क्या थे? The cycle of erosion is continuous. Right? In the cycle of erosion, there is no role of endogenetic forces. River is the only agent of erosion. River is the only agent of erosion. And the deductive conclusion, high relief, bold topographies are youthful. Low relief, flat topographies are senile and old. High relief, bold relief are youthful. And flat reliefs, senile topographies are old. And that the process is unidirectional, reverse नहीं होने वाला. It's unidirectional, it is progressive, आगे बढ़ता चला जाएगा. It is progressive. And when he had examples of other agents of erosion, what did he do? He said they are climatic accidents. उन्हें ignore कर दिया उसको. An instance of upliftment, he called that as abnormal cycles, interrupted cycles. He dismissed those. Is it okay, all of you here? Which means he was trying to preserve his hypothesis and he was having his own perceptible biases. ज्यादा पुश किया तो बता दिया कि चलो यार एक और अलग से बना लेते हैं, एरिड साइकिल ऑफ इरोजन। किसी और कुछ और दिखाया, ओके अलग से बना लेते हैं, मरीन साइकिल ऑफ इरोजन। तो अल्टीमेटली जनरल थ्योरी जो था, इट गॉट डाइल्यूटेड। द क्वेश्चन इज नॉट व्हाट इज डेनोटेशन क्रोनोलॉजी, टेल अस अबाउट डेविस साइकिल नहीं पूछ रहा है ये। एवरी पॉसिबिलिटी ये सवाल पूछेगा नहीं, बट आप पास इंसाइट्स है ना अभी। When they ask you about Davis model analysis, आप ये डायमेंशन लिख के आना। See, the technique of scoring marks is, I will teach you something new. अगर डायरेक्ट आ गया, like spliothym, very nice, very happy. Okay. अगर नहीं आया, now these are gems in your concepts, नए नए ideas हैं। Find ways how to use them in your answers. एक पैराग्राफ ही सही, one page ही सही, one insight ही हो जाए। Okay, can you have a question on channel morphology? Yes. आप उसने एक पैराग्राफ डाल देना। The channel morphology was a very unique way of studying streams, otherwise ignored, okay, in the earlier forms of studies. वही डाल देना and 1-2 lines there. Okay. लेकिन always I put Davis model, लिख देना एक पैराग्राफ। Davis model is a classical example of a deductive model based on assumptions. Okay, the assumptions, though criticized, were actually very smart compulsions without which we could have had no theory. However, there are perceptible weaknesses like 1, 2, 3 points. Is it okay, all of you? It's like मैंने आपको एक औजार दे रखा है. I've given you a tool now. Is your smartness how you apply this? Ankita, example हो गया, all of you fine? All good here? Yes. Flow charts बना सकते हैं. You make a flow charts. You can show schematics. Okay, क्या like say what are the elements of perceptual weakness? Why deductive reasoning okay is meritorious? Why? जो point आपने बताया ना ये वाला, listing points. The listing can be in the form of a diagram. So when I say diagram, it need not always be a map or a sketch. Okay? You can use the example of India's division chronology. Peninsular Plateau, Northern Plains, mountains and Northern Plains. It's like a division chronology of India. Okay? Okay, now you want to refer on this one. एक तो बता दिया मैंने आपको पेज नंबर क्या 22 था, right? That's one reference. Then I'll suggest, बेटा एक मिनट, okay, एक मिनट, या बांट दो ना, बांट दो, don't wait for me. See, inductive method, if you have all the data, you have all the techniques of collection, analysis, enough of time, inductive is the best. अगर टाइम है तो बेटा एक एक पेज पढ़ लो ना किताब का. टाइम नहीं है तो भी सिलेक्टिव, यहां से एक पेज पढ़ा, वहां से एक पढ़ा. Deductive is convenient, deductive is smart. What we are doing is something like deductive. ये पहले ये सवाल पूछा हुआ है, चलो ऐसे ही प्रिपेयर करते हैं. ठीक है, तो deductive is scientific, it is smart technique. Inductive is tedious and in complexities you can't handle it. अगर बनेगा तब ना, अगर तुमने पूरा किताब पढ़ लिया, सब समझ लिया एग्जाम के पहले तक, तो बहुत बढ़िया है. फिर खत्म करके तो बताओ सारा पेज. If you can do all instances analysis, if you can do it, then brilliant. क्या कर नहीं पाओगे. ठीक है? Okay, so one reference here. Yeah. Yes. So page number 309, chapter number 17. I picked up the statement yahin se hi. Chronology approach suffers from certain perceptible weakness. The approach is highly deductive because unknown events and responses are described on the basis of very limited knowledge, information and evidences. मिल रहा है आपको ये वाला? This passage is the answer more or less. But word it the way we understand it. Page number 309. इरोजन सर्फेसिस के पहले। ऑल गुड ऑल ऑफ यू? इस क्वेश्चन बिकॉज बट ऐड कर दिया है, टेक इट पॉजिटिव। फिर आप समझाओगे क्यों कन्वीनियंट है। Don't just say the word and keep quiet. Now, I'm a good boy. Don't stop there. I'm a good boy because I do work on time, because I'm caring, because I'm honest. समझाओगे why convenient? समझाओ ना मुझे पहले। इतने लैंडफॉर्म के डाइवर्सिटी में, when landforms are changing, landform development is very dynamic, lot of things are lost. We cannot wait for instance where we will have all the evidences. समझाओ उसको why convenient। ठीक है, ओके तो आप एक और सवाल लिखो आप ऑल ऑफ यू। Discuss the concept of equilibrium as propounded by Gilbert. Discuss the concept of equilibrium as propounded by Gilbert. अच्छा पहले बताओ, all of you are on the Telegram channel? Raise your hands. Not on the channel? Because मेरे पास और 5-6 सवाल है। Okay, yeah, not taken admission तो बेटा okay, डेमो देख के जाओ, डेमो में इतना ही मिलेगा, ठीक है, प्रसाद ही मिलेगा आपको, पूरा थोड़ी दावत मिलेगा। Join yesterday, okay, fine. So, I mean, jokes apart. So I have got 6-7 questions. I will discuss tomorrow. But हम चाह रहे हैं आप सोचें खुद पहले। Okay, so उसका तरीका क्या होगा? Maybe I'll put it on the scanner. You can take a screenshot of this. Okay. या फिर I will of course put it on the Telegram also. Is it visible to all of you online also? Go downstairs and ensure that you are part of the Telegram channel. The only possible once you have paid your fees. I believe all of you have done that. हम इसको डाल देंगे वहां पर. Online students, just to ensure that you don't miss out, take the questions, please. And all the questions are L3 questions. If the geomorphic cycle is accepted as valid, penny plane is a necessary corollary to it. Illustrate. देखो आपको कुछ समझ में आता है कि नहीं? Describe theories of isostasy based on principles of buoyancy, the concept of equilibrium and isostatic adjustments. The structural and the physiographic features of circumpacific zone are fully as spectacular as those of better known San Andreas and Alpine faults. Discuss. लिख के मत आ जाना note on circumpacific belt. I want something else there. The variations with time of a geomagnetic field, the secular variations are the basis of the science of paleomagnetism. Discuss. There is uniform development of landforms in varying environmental conditions, and there is insignificant influence of climatic changes in the development of fluvially origin landforms. Critique the statement. So if you want to copy it down, you may do so. Just give me a second. You may also got the printout. Check करें आप. You got the printout of this? Oh yes. So I've given the printout of the first 4 classes. ठीक है, ये आपके पास है. आप अपने आप पर right now focus on the first 2 questions. Don't digress. Because at 5 questions, it takes me 2 hours. आपको भी लगेगा 2-2.5 घंटा. सारा ना भी करो, at least couple of them do that. That's one set you have got. What else have you got from me? Yeah, this one. Now listen. We have given you the questions of the practice test. There are 16 questions, 16 questions. Okay. It will be on your, yeah, give me 2 minutes. It will be on your Telegram channel. ये 16 questions के answer आपको हम दे देंगे. Some of them are previous year's answers. इसके अलावा, we're also giving you another 30 answers, the tricky ones, which I will not ask, not necessarily, but I will want कि आप जान लें वो सब. It is through these questions I take care of your L1, L2 and some L3 questions. So आपके पास कितने questions हैं अभी? I will discuss some questions here. ये हो गया आपका 8, 9, 10 question हो गया. I have given you 16 questions as answers. With answers से मिलेगा ये वाला. ये अपलोड हो चुका है अजय? कर देंगे, ठीक है. There are 16 questions. And इसके अलावा you'll have another 28, 30 questions, right? That covers almost all topics of geomorphology. आपका काम है किताब बंद करो, बस रट्टा मारो, और समझ में ना आया, go back and open the notes and your textbook. Now, one suggestion to all of you is that when you memorize the answers, don't mechanically memorize. पढ़ें उसको. You want to rephrase something there. You feel कि नहीं इसको और कुछ और modify कर देते हैं. आपको मैंने बना बनाया दे रखा है. Now you modify it. That modification will help you remember better. Okay, so spend some time thinking through it, debating through it. Okay, add some richness. Modify some sentences. You know, ये बहुत difficult है या मैं कुछ और लिखूंगा. I'm giving you a kind of a guide there. So your entire preparation will happen through this question. So आपने अगर 50 question कर लिया यार, come on, मैं इतना घटिया किस्मत लाए हो, इससे कुछ भी नहीं पूछेगा, फिर तो I said you go home and sleep. Okay, ऐसे किस्मत का हम fight नहीं मार सकते. You will get a range. I have been fairly good at this. You'll get a range. यार उसके आसपास पूछेगा, you will do better than anybody else. You must promise me to do that, okay, before the first test. Okay, all the tricky questions I am discussing with you. Today's questions are tricky questions. The same I'll do for the next tomorrow also. Fine, all of you? Okay, that's your strategy. The sectional test will not have any of these questions. Wala questions honge the, and they will surprise you. And I think you must expect me to give you L3 questions, not L1 questions. L1 में तो आपके पैसे खराब हो जाएंगे. Okay, you better learn something new, so be prepared for a sectional test then. All good, all of you? Okay. Now, some of you were asking me before the class starts how to prepare for GS. I know none of you are complacent there, but मेरा selfish interest है that you guys balance GS and also optionals. Okay, so we run a GS course called as the main support program. उसका भी ऐसा ही model है. The only thing we do not have is we don't have classes for that. But we'll give you model answers. ऐसे ही आपको लिखाएंगे. Okay, you will memorize and we will have a test. But there's a method I want you to follow. The first test is on history. So we had some class yesterday and some of them appreciated that. So जो आप लोग join कर चुके हो, you can leave. Others sit down for half an hour more. Because देखो यार, prelims qualify करना is not easy anymore. You never know when you are getting stuck. Now that you have got a chance, okay, when many others have failed, use this 2.5 months in whatever way you can. Okay, we are there as a team. Okay, और मेरा interest भी है कि come and take admissions with us itself. ताकि आपका पूरा पढ़ाई का schedule converges into one method. Deliberately, I have kept a timetable where your class don't clash. हम चाह रहे हैं एक दिन में आप सिर्फ 2 चीज पढ़ाई करें, optional and GS, or optional and essays, or GS and essays, nothing else. So all the programs are starting now. Today is your geography. We had one class of GS, I think day before yesterday, on Saturday we कब था हमारा? कल ही था ना? Yesterday था. We have an essay class starting from 22nd. वो सुबह होगा आपका. I want you all to converge with us and do this at one place. Room खाली है, come and write in the classroom itself. So I allow Devender and we have Uttam with me. Both of them understand the process very well. They'll take half an hour to explain how GS preparation can be done. And if you're convinced, please join with us. Otherwise, follow a method there. So those who have a part of MSP can leave. I'm done with the class of GS. Others stay back, take some inputs, and let us know if we can help you there. Okay? So just 5 more minutes, 10 more, half an hour more. Let Devinder and Uttam explain this to you. Yes, they will be like mentors to you. So I will mentor along with Ajay, again, other members of the team. They'll mentor you with the GS. Okay, please come, take over. Telegram channel? Acha, one kara denge. After the class, I will do that. So those who want to leave can leave. But I request stay back, know the process, taki you use the entire program as a part of your qualifying strategy. Normal time, Shubham. If you delay the submissions, you will suffer there. Then I will take my own sweet time to check. I will not stop you, but I'll suggest it on time.
जो जाना चाहते हैं जा सकते हैं, जो रुकना चाहते हैं रुक सकते हैं. Hi, good evening everyone. How many of you written इस बार मेंस कौन कौन लिख रहा है? फर्स्ट टाइमर्स कितने इनमें से? पहले कभी लिखा है? ओके. जो इस साल नहीं लिख रहे हैं, those who are targeting the next year, you are the targeting next year. Okay. Any idea about mains answer writing? So can you tell me the problems you are facing? आप बता सकते हैं writing the first time. What problem you are facing in the preparation? How to deal with it? Okay. You are also writing the first time. What problem you are facing? Okay, means the content gap you have, some content gap, and you're also writing first time. What problem you are facing? Again, the content problem. And all of you are from the geography optional, right? So mainly, we will take not more than the 15 minutes. This is about the what we will do and what you need to do. It's not about joining any program. We are not offering our program, but we are telling you what to do. Like you need to balance your preparation with the geography as well as the essay as well as the GS. But the time is only the less than 90 days from now. It's on the 15th September you will write your mains. But for the GS specifically, आप लोगों ने prelims के लिए पढ़ा है पहले से ही, you already well prepared for the prelims, तभी आपका qualify हुआ. Now you need to use the information of the prelims in the mains as well. But how to use that information? How to write the answer related to the mains? That is the main issue. So the first issue you people are facing is the time management. You are writing the test series of your optional, you are writing the test series of your GS, and also you are writing the test series for the essay also. But how I will manage these 3 things in these 3 months? That's the major task, those who are writing the mains this year. Then the second task is the content. Those who are writing the mains first time, they have the major issue with this part also. Those who are writing the second time or third time, they already have the content. But those who are writing the mains first time, they need to be focused on the content as well. Ki what content we need to be write that can be prepared in a small time. Means we can prepare in the 1.5 month for the GS or a 2 month maximum for the GS. How we can go for that approach? That is required. Third is the practice. The first timer, they are not having the enough practice for the answer writing. So completing the question paper within 3 hours is also again a task. So these are the common minimal issue जो हर कोई face करेगा, those who are writing the mains first time or maybe the second time those who are writing the mains. So for this program, the first idea is about the analyzing the PYQ. जो सर ने ज्योग्राफी में भी बताया होगा कि how you will do an analysis of the previous year questions. But for the GS, it's a little bit different. From the analysis of the PYQ, it's not like you will read the PYQ. The PYQ related to the 1857 was already asked in the paper कि ऐसा पूछा गया था. But there should be a conclusion. What is the conclusion when you are viewing the PYQ or when you are like analyzing the PYQ? What you are gaining from that PYQ? आप उससे क्या-क्या analysis करके निकाल रहे हैं? Do you expecting any question on the line of the PYQ? What is your targeted area? What is the targeted area of the UPSC? Means if I say the 20% of the syllabus is having the 80% of the question in the paper. That 20% of the syllabus is required to be identified in your main syllabus. From which area the UPSC is mainly asking the question. If you see the last 7-8 years paper, they have the repetition in the themes. Even the themes of the 1857, even the themes of the national movements, about the personality, about the role of woman, specifically to the history. But if you go to the economy part, GST, the specifically repetition of the inclusive growth, specifically repetition of the food industry. And in the society, if you see there are only the 4 or 5 themes they are asking about, like the globalization, woman empowerment, self-help group. These are some common minimum topics they are asking, and they're repeating again and again. So we need to be identify that 20% core area of the syllabus where from the maximum questions they are asking. If you are not doing this work and you're just writing the question paper and going on every Sunday to writing the paper, then this process will become very typical for you. अब जाके संडे को सिर्फ टेस्ट लिख के आ रहे हैं बिना क्वेश्चन पेपर के बारे में जाने, बिना जाने कि यूपीएससी क्या पूछ रही है एग्जैक्टली, that will become a typical task for those who are writing the first time. So before writing any of the paper, आपको एक idea होना चाहिए. You have a clear idea. This is my priority. I will read these topic first because this is the main topics from where the UPSC is asking the question. तो वो एक clarity होना चाहिए. Whenever you're starting the preparation, everybody using the laptop, everybody using the digital methods. Make a spreadsheet for yourself. Like I'm attempting the GS1 paper, these are the topics need to be covered in the first time. These are the topics I covered before the test. Maybe 70% of the topic I am covering. In the test, I am getting again the 30 new topics from which I only know about the 15 topics. मुझे 15 ही पता है, but the 15s are the new one. So I will also make that list. These are the new topics for me. If you're tracking yourself in the making the Excel sheet, you will have a clear idea. This is need to be done. This is covered. This is the remaining one. Most of them हम क्या करते हैं? Next Sunday, take an example. We are attempting the geography test. हमने जितना syllabus किया, we are reading it. We are complete only 60% of the syllabus. We will attempt the test and we will left the remaining one. So, but I have no idea about that 40% of the syllabus. सबसे पहला रीजन है क्योंकि मैंने एनालिसिस नहीं किया था कि यूपीएससी में क्या पूछा गया है. I am not preparing according to that. If you are prepared according to that, in the test series, you will find the 85 or 90% of the question from the UPSC pattern. उसके बाद आपने एनालिसिस भी किया, लेकिन फिर भी आपको न्यू टॉपिक्स मिले, मे बी द सम ऑफ द रिलेवेंसी ऑफ द करंट अफेयर ऑल्सो. तो मेंस आपका मे बी द 60% ऑफ द क्वेश्चन यू कैन प्रेडिक्ट इन द मेंस. इट्स नॉट लाइक द प्रीलिम्स कि रैंडमनेस होगा, बट इन द मेंस यू कैन प्रेडिक्ट द 60% ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. So whenever you are starting preparation, most of आपने start भी कर दिया होगा. Maybe some of you have joined the test series also for the GS mains. But your target should be clear cut. What is need to be done? क्या हो गया? What is the required? Before attempting the test, start practicing. I will see the paper. I will analyze. These are topics that's required to read. I will start writing on my own. At home, मैं अगर लिख रहा हूँ घर पे बैठ के, I will evaluate the paper. मैं क्या क्या लिखा है मैं वो भी देखूंगा. If you are doing this process, then it's become easy for you. Well, in the 80-90 days, the preparation of all the 4 area or the UPSC is not an easy for the first timer. उसमें से कुछ ऐसे भी होंगे जिनको नहीं कॉन्फिडेंस था कि we will qualify the prelims also. तो उस तरीके का प्रिपरेशन नहीं होता है when you are writing the first time. अगर आप बहुत पहले से प्रिपरेशन नहीं कर रहे हैं, ज्वाइनिंग द GS कोर्सेज, आपने पेपर दिया and you are qualified for it. And it's maybe different for the everyone. हर किसी के लिए अलग हो सकता है. So you need to do these things. हम हमारे प्रोग्राम में what we are doing here, we are first offering you the PYQ analysis, the simple funda. To cracking the exam, we need to know about the exam. On the first day, with each sectional one, we are analyzing the previous year questions. And that's not like we are giving you the question. We are identifying the area from which you can prepare best. Like we notified the sum of the area for the first test. Like I will dictate if you want to write about the like ancient, modern and medieval. से आपको किस चीज पे सबसे ज़्यादा focus करना है? Means we are prioritizing your preparation कि these are the minimum area you need to be focused on. अगर आप modern history पर उठाते हो तो these are the minimum requirement. सबसे पहले आपको यही खत्म करना. If you clear in that mind, आपने एक boundary line setup कर ली ना, तो that will complete your preparation within the 90 days. अगर आप randomly पढ़ते जा रहे हैं, मैं विपिन चंद्रा उठा रहा हूँ, मैं प्लासीडो पार्टीशन उठा रहा हूँ, मैं विजन का टेस्ट लिख रहा हूँ, मैं XYZ इंस्टीट्यूशन का टेस्ट लिख रहा हूँ, but I have no clarity about the UPSC paper. So one funda is about we are providing you the PYQ analysis, means we are doing ourselves और आप भी हमारे साथ करेंगे. So you have a clear-cut idea. These are the topics required to read. These are the topics which I will focus on prioritized basis. Second is idea we are giving you a practice test like the geography you are getting here, but that practice test will be different. That is completely on the basis of the UPSC line. वो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि level 1 है. We are mainly focusing on the relevancy instead of the focusing on the कि हम syllabus completion पे देखेंगे. We are focusing on the relevancy which have the highest chances to appear in the mains paper. उसके basis पर वो आपको practice test दिया जा रहा है, but with the model answer we are providing you. That model answer like the 50, 500, 600 words model answer that will include the complete explanation of the topic. Means if you are getting the 20 topics, means you are getting a 20 question with 20 topics. You need to be complete that topics within 3-4 days. Getting a slot of the 2 hours. 2 hours on a daily basis, you can complete 20 questions in 3 days. Means the 6 hours for a 20 question is enough. उसमें आपको retain करना है. The second problem in the mains, retention. याद नहीं होता, हम बैठ के सोचने लग जाते हैं. But we are having the 7-8 minutes only. If I have only 7 minutes for a 10 marker and I am spending the 3 minutes for thinking when I will write the question answer. This is the second main problem. So the retention is a game changer. If you're memorizing the question, you are memorizing the topic. अगर आपको पता है, if the question is from the national movement, I will write this introduction. थोड़ा बहुत modification we can do at the on the spot also. If I know if the question is related to the GDP or the inclusive growth, I will quote this data in the introduction. I will write these way forward in the conclusion. वो clarity, वो retention, वो एक applicability पता होना चाहिए. I will write this case study in the water conservation. I will write about the Chhattisgarh waste management in the solid waste management model. तो ये clarity होना is the main thing in this paper. If you are not clear about your facts, if you are not clear कि अगर मेरा question आता है geography में primary rocks के बारे में तो मैं क्या लिखूंगा? Oh, it's also a part of the preparation. You need to have a clear idea. You have a ready-made answer for the 50-60% question. If the question is there, I will write in this way. I will write in the XYZ way. So I can save the time. I can write in a better way. Then let's come to the point of presentation. All of you will get the model answers of the 500, 600 words. Then the next game changer is the presentation. How will you choose the highest priority 150 words? How will you represent your answer in the paper? How you will quote the case study from the different area? How you will represent the data for the like a GS3, GS2? कैसे quote करेंगे? कैसे cases के बारे में लिखेंगे? That will matter in the presentation. So in this market, material सबके पास है. What is the difference between the rank 1 and the rank 800? The difference of the presentation, the difference of the paper completion, the difference of the writing style. क्या चीज कहाँ पे लिखनी है, क्या introduction कहाँ पे लिखना है. So that's the difference. If you see the marks of the topper of the rank 1 and the rank 800, is a difference of 150, 200 marks. And out of the 150 marks, there is a difference of 80, 90 marks in the GS only. तो GS में एक क्वेश्चन में एक मार्क भी ज्यादा आएगा तो यार 80 मार्क्स ahead than others. तो वो एक मार्क लाने के लिए अलग से मेहनत करना पड़ेगा. So in this test series, we are focusing first on the PYQ analysis that will give you the complete idea about the paper. The second step, we are focusing about the practice. You will learn the questions, you will write the answer on Thursday. In that writing, we will check your presentation, your understanding level, and how you are enriching your answer. It's not like we are giving you syllabus, you are writing the answer, we are evaluating, and we are giving the paper back. That's not a model in this institution. The specifically model we are following, let's know about the paper. Let's check the individual skills. आप कहाँ पे lack करते हैं? It's not about the bulk, it's about the individual. कि आप case study लिखने में पीछे हैं, आपको थोड़ा सा data integration में issues आते हैं. You know, you are not referring about the demand of the question. तो उस basis पे ही practice test होंगे. Then finally the sectional test on every Sunday will be there. And that sectional test is completely on the line of the UPSC. And every Monday there will be a discussion. That discussion will be also on the keywords, how you will represent your answer. Because model answer तो आपको मिल ही जाएंगे. But we will majorly focus on how you will can quote the new things, how you will can write your answer. So this is a model of this main support program. That's why the word support, not the main test series. It's not just a test series. It's a main support program where we are individually telling everyone how you will do, how you will can improve, how you will can write. That's the model for this test series. I am calling Uttam. He will tell you about some of the major history topics so you can write and you can take the practice test from the office. So you can check these are the topics which are the main required for the history preparation specifically. Okay, Uttam.
Good evening, all. I will be dictating some of the topics of culture as well as other parts of the history like modern history, world history, and post-independence. So please note down. The first topic is Indus Valley Civilization. So in this, urban planning and its relevance is the main theme you should be preparing upon. Second is comparison, the comparison with Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Greece. Basically, you have to prepare on what factors helped Indian civilization preserve their heritage, culture, and traditions till the present date. Second is literary sources. You have to prepare on literature. You can prepare a whole timeline about Sangam literature, Mauryan, Gupta literature, as well as of medieval times. Specifically focusing on Gupta literature, Sangam, as well as medieval. In Sangam literature, you have to also prepare on the impact on society, the social and economic conditions. Sorry? Medieval. Persian is just a part of it. टर्क, संगम, उसके बाद में संगम बोल, टर्क हो गया, टर्क टर्क टर्किश, okay. So online students in Telegram group, there will be sharing of test 1, sectional test. So third is painting. तो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन में जैसे पूछा था कि रॉक कट आर्किटेक्चर के टाइम जो पेंटिंग होती थी उसका कंपैरिजन विद मॉडर्न पेंटिंग, ठीक है, तो यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर थोड़ा कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली ऑन पेंटिंग. फोर्थ इज आर्ट फॉर्म्स, बेसिकली गांधारा, ठीक है, you have to prepare it on detail like influence of Greece and Roman elements, right? Then Bhakti and Sufi movement, its contribution to Indian culture, like for example Basawana is in news, current affairs में Basawana news में, तो उसको आप अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करेंगे. Then travelers, contribution of ancient and medieval travelers and comparison between them. तो एक बार आप कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली प्रिपेयर कर लोगे तो फिर इजी हो जाएगा आपको आंसर लिखना. Then philosophy, contribution of Indian philosophy in shaping the monument on art and its impact on society, how it impacted Indian society and Indian culture. Then temple architecture, specifically focusing on Chola, Gupta and medieval, because UPSC is moving towards medieval now. Okay. And its impact on social and economic conditions. ठीक है, इस साल जैसे क्वेश्चन था 2022 में medieval temples पे, ठीक है, तो at the moment it was very difficult because याद नहीं आता कि कौन से temples होते हैं, right? But you can easily use your prelims knowledge, ठीक है, आप सबका prelims knowledge fresh होगा, ठीक है, तो medieval में क्या temples याद आते हैं? खजुराहो, कामाख्या temples on the Assam, right? Sun temple, मोढेरा in गुजरात, कोणार्क temple in ओडिशा. तो ऐसा करके अच्छा आंसर आप लिख सकते थे उसमें, ठीक है. Then Buddhism, इसको थोड़ा डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे, स्पेसिफिकली बुद्धिस्ट आइडियल्स and stupa, its evolution and culture related to it. Then Gupta period, why it is called golden age. So prepare that comprehensively. What were the economic conditions in Gupta period? What were the social conditions? Okay. Then recent cultural reforms by Government of India. Basically, like Dholavira is getting more attention now. So National Maritime Heritage Complex has been made, right? So prepare on those lines. You should know the knowledge. Like Sengol is in news, right? Then ancient education, the universities जो थे, Taxila, Nalanda, and their comparison between them. Okay? Then at last, Indian art and heritage, safeguarding इसका present relevance, why we need to safeguard it. तो ये broad question हो गया. World history में कम questions आते हैं, लेकिन if you focus on, like Devinder sir said, 80-20, you know, 80% of the questions come from 20% of the syllabus. आपका time और effort दोनों बच जाएगा, especially in world history and post independent, क्योंकि syllabus बहुत है उसमें और आपको कम पढ़ के आप अच्छा मार्क्स ला सकते हो. तो वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री यू शुड फोकस ऑन इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन, व्हाई इन इंग्लैंड बेसिकली, राइट. comprehensively prepare on its impact on society, on economy, on India. UPSC has a tendency to ask question since it mentions since the 18th century, मतलब 1750s की बात कर रहा है वो. तो वो आपसे बेसिकली इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन की ही बात करता है कि उसका इम्पैक्ट इंडिया में क्या हुआ, इंडिया के एग्रीकल्चर में क्या हुआ, इकोनॉमी में क्या हुआ एंड अदर सेक्टर्स में क्या हुआ. देन कोलोनाइजेशन एंड डीकोलोनाइजेशन, है ना, स्पेसिफिकली फोकसिंग ऑन अफ्रीका. Then American and French Revolution. Africa. Africa. American and French Revolution. Its impact and how it helped laying the foundations of modern world. Then World Wars 1 and 2 both. इसमें events याद रखना है और इन बिटवीन भी याद रखना, लेकिन बेसिकली फोकस एनालिसिस पे रहेगा कि क्या क्या इवेंट्स लेके क्या क्या हुआ, ठीक है, किसके कारण क्या फिलोसफी आई, ठीक है, व्हाट फैक्टर्स लेड टू राइज ऑफ यूएसएसआर, ठीक है. देन पॉलिटिकल फिलोसफीज, मर्केंटिलिज्म, कैपिटलिज्म, सोशलिज्म एंड कम्युनिज्म, ठीक है, ये चार करेंगे. देन कमिंग टू मॉडर्न इंडिया, कैपिटलिज्म, मतलब क्वेश्चंस डायरेक्ट नहीं हो सकते, हो सकता है कंपैरिजन बोल दे, लेकिन आपको पता होना चाहिए कब क्या आया, किसके वजह से क्या आया. लाइक मर्केंटिलिज्म का क्या रोल था, कैपिटलिज्म का क्या रोल है, ठीक है, फ्यूडलिज्म का कैसे पहले इम्पैक्ट था, ठीक है. कमिंग टू मॉडर्न इंडिया, फर्स्ट 1857 रिवोल्ट, ठीक है, इट्स प्री रिवोल्ट एनालिसिस. Second is personalities. For example, Mahatma Gandhi, Bose, Nehru, the approaches between them. Like Gandhi proposed struggle through struggle, while Nehru was in favor of struggle victory. ठीक है. Social and religious reforms. हाँ. पूछ चुका है. चांसेस ज्यादा है कि फिर से वो रिपीट हो जाए, ठीक है. अब वो जो एक्सपेक्टेड लाइन्स है वो हम टेस्ट सीरीज में बताएंगे, क्योंकि विद न्यूज जैसे जैसे टेस्ट बनेगी उसमें बता पाएंगे, ठीक है. सोशल एंड रिलीजियस रिफॉर्म्स फोकसिंग ऑन वुमेन, ट्राइबल्स, पीजेंट्स, मॉडरेट एंड एक्सट्रीमिस्ट, उनके डिफरेंसेस इन मेथड्स एंड अप्रोच. देन ब्रिटिश इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसीज, ठीक है, उनके इम्पैक्ट ऑन इंडिया, इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर स्पेसिफिकली. फमीन्स का क्वेश्चन इसी था, इस बार था. तो इम्पैक्ट ब्रिटिश इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसीज पढ़ने से आप कमीन्स, लैंड टेन्योर सिस्टम का क्या इम्पैक्ट था इंडिया में, कमर्शलाइजेशन ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर का क्या इम्पैक्ट था, ठीक है, इम्पैक्ट ऑन आर्ट ट्रेडिशन, जो आर्टिशन इंडस्ट्री थी, वो सब हैंडल कर सकते हैं. इसको पूरा ब्रॉड लेवल में पढ़ने. देन गवर्नर जनरल, 2 गवर्नर जनरल पूछ चुका है यूपीएससी, डलहौजी एंड कर्जन, ठीक है. तो और क्या में आप याद कर प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं, रिपन में प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं, मेटाकाफ में प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं एंड बेंटिक में प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. देन मूवमेंट्स, नॉन कोऑपरेशन, सिविल डिसोबीडियंस एंड क्विट इंडिया, देयर कंपैरिजन, ठीक है, क्या क्या डिफरेंसेस थे, कौन कौन क्या पार्ट लिया. देन पोस्ट 1940 इवेंट्स, ठीक है, जब ट्रांसफर ऑफ पावर फ्रॉम ब्रिटिश टू इंडिया हो रहा था बेसिकली, ठीक है. देन गांधीयन फेज, स्पेसिफिकली गांधीयन फेज, यूपीएससी हैज आस्क्ड मेनी टाइम्स डिफरेंट वॉइसेस. तो कैपिटलिस्ट का क्या स्टैंड था, कम्युनिस्ट का क्या था, डिफरेंट सेक्शंस क्या थे, वुमेन, ट्राइबल्स, पीजेंट्स, ठीक है. देन पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस, UPSC is focused on majority 2 or 3 themes. First is land reforms and second is wars. पहले वो पूछता था टास्केंट एग्रीमेंट एंड बेसिकली जय जवान जय किसान, ऐसा पूछा हुआ है. अभी इट हैज फोकस्ड ऑन रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ स्टेट्स, ठीक है. इस साल पोस्ट एंड प्री 1947 भी पूछ दिया उन्होंने, थोड़ा और पीछे लेके गए. पार्टीशन ऑफ इंडिया, उस टाइम जो रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो रहा था वो पूछना चाह रहे थे। अभी एक्सपेक्टेड ये हो सकता है कि इमरजेंसी के टाइम जो इवेंट्स है उनका, नॉर्थ ईस्ट एंड पंजाब इंसर्जेंसी, ठीक है, एंड मॉडर्न डे लैंड रिफॉर्म्स। एंड लास्ट इज पर्सनैलिटीज एसोसिएटेड इन पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस। फॉर एग्जाम्पल विनोबा भावे को पूछा गया है, ठीक है, ग्रामदान भूदान मूवमेंट, तो यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर वंस अगेन ग्रामदान भूदान मूवमेंट। एक्सपेक्टेड लाइन्स ये हो सकता है कि कोऑपरेटिव से पूछ सके, कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट जो चल रहा है उसका ओरिजिन क्या था, कहाँ से ट्रेस होता है, ठीक है। तो किसी को कोई डाउट है? हाँ, टेक्सटाइल ड्रेस आप कलेक्ट कर सकते हो नीचे से। हाँ, थर्सडे होगा वो। हाँ, ये ओपन टेस्ट आप नीचे से कलेक्ट कर सकते हो। हाँ हाँ, बैठ के दे सकता हूँ, यहीं आ सकते। टाइमिंग हम नीचे से बता लीजिएगा, टाइमिंग का आपको आइडिया है, नीचे बता देंगे। फिर थैंक यू। वैल्यूएशन होगा, हाँ होगा। एक बार नीचे जाओगे ना, आपको डिटेल्स पूरा बता देंगे, है ना। इससे माउस नहीं चल रहा।